of free speech. This program is intended for mature audiences only and contains strong or potentially offensive language of an adult and sexual nature. So, listener discretion advised.
The views and opinions expressed on the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City do not reflect those of Vegas On Net Radio or its affiliates. All music, stories, and characters are the sole property of their creators and are protected under international copyright laws.
Sierra, Alexia, Mama, and Sweet Cheeks are personalities put on for your entertainment.
The stories are real. The language is explicit. The behavior is unbelievable.
If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Watch out for blasting to you straight out of Las Vegas, Nevada, it is the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, starring Sierra, Sweet Cheeks, Alexia, and Mama.
Good evening, Las Vegas.
And people around the world.
I'll be right in to do the dishes, Ma.
Doesn't it sound like Sweet Cheeks is yelling for Sierra from... What did you say?
Sierra!
She's like, get in from the yard.
No, you know I'm... No. I'll tell you, when you use the middle name. Sierra Jane, get your ass in here! Then you're in trouble. When my mama used my middle name, I was in trouble.
I was never in trouble. I never had it. I don't have a middle name.
See, you could never get in trouble, could you? That's when you really knew you're in
You
trouble.
don't have a
when
middle
they
name,
used
really?
Nope.
Wow.
Wow.
You know where the middle name comes
She's
from,
Alexia,
right?
pain in my ass, Sweet Cheeks. That's what she is. She's Alexia.
Wait, go figure this. My mother used to call me Mouth.
Mouth?
Mouth.
You want to know, honest to God, what my nickname was when I was a kid? Skeeter legs. Because my legs were so skinny, they looked like mosquito legs. I swear to God.
Skeeter legs.
Skeeter. We're going to call you Skeeter.
Who called you that? Your family?
My
or
family.
Your
yeah.
family?
Mom, Dad, Grandma,
Skeeter.
Grandpa.
We got Skeeter next to us.
No, my nickname
Yes,
was
we were
always
also from the South.
Like the wattage or electrical thing.
Or the thing you say when you're meditating.
Right. But it was
See,
Not very
you're in
relaxing.
trouble if you got a That's worse than like a middle name.
No. Trouble was Ma.
That was trouble? The soft one?
Yeah, because it's, oh my God, what are you doing?
Do you use your kids' middle names when you're upset with them?
No.
No?
No.
I do. When I'm like,
Well, the bigger one has two middle names, so that would be too much breath before I say, get your ass in here. So, yeah, he's got two middle names, so, and then, no.
Hey, speaking of kids, you guys, I got to bring this one up. There's a kid, I don't know if you've seen it on the news this week, in Colorado, and he's 6 years old now, but at the age of 4, his parents allowed him to start dressing as a girl because he felt like he was in the wrong body at 4. So, what do you think? Is 4 too young? Of course, I was listening to conservative radio, so the parents brainwashed him, and if they wanted to have a girl, they should have had a girl. But at what point do you let your kid, do you let them express that?
Well, here's my point. Whenever you interview a true transgender person and not some crazy pants who change their gender to get away from, whatever problems they're having, right? But if they're a true transgender...
Although Diamond D's not crazy, really.
Well, remember, though, Diamond D's not a true transgender.
Yeah, and she'll tell you that she's crazy.
She will. She will.
So, they all will tell you, I have always known. I have always known I was a girl, or I have always known I was a boy. I knew when I was little that I didn't want to be what I was born as.
Well, it's all kind of issues for the schools. For like, what bathroom do you let her use? It's all kind of.
Hold on. I want to stop that for just a second. First off, we are one of the only industrialized nations that requires you to separate bathrooms by sexual orientation.
But if you go someplace as a tourist, they've always got 2 different bathrooms.
Only in the tourist locations. If you go off into the local areas where there's local bars, local pubs, things like that, toilets are just
Their
go in
toilets,
and go.
like
Yeah, you
when
don't.
you're visiting somebody's house, you
Right.
use whatever.
And here's the other thing. Why is everyone so pissed off about what bathroom this kid's going to use? What is he going to do? Squat in the middle of the floor with
Right,
his
I
pants?
agree. But
There's
that's where the
stalls in there.
school.
You go
That's
in, you
where the
close the
schools
door.
got their uproar. You know, you got a little boy going into the little girl's bathroom, but the little boy wants to be a little girl, so he don't care what them little girls have because he wants it too.
The problem with America is that we were a country founded by people so uptight the English kicked them out.
Well, I think where our hats have to go off to is the parents. Now, of course, we don't know the backstory on any of this, but I think it takes a lot as a parent to let your kid express that and to go that way.
And huzzah for the parents for listening to their child and truly understanding this child's feelings.
Now, at what point do you let your child start on hormones?
So, well, hold on. Before we get off the dressing like a girl thing, do you remember that movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler?
Yes.
Yes.
And he said to the kid, well, what do you want to wear? So the kid put on like galoshes and a cape and goggles and stuff, and he looked really cool.
Right.
He looked like a kid who dressed himself.
But that's what he wanted to wear. I don't think there's anything wrong with
No,
it.
and I'm that way with my grandson. Sometimes he comes out the bedroom and whoa. But he really thinks he's styling and looking good. And I was like, you know what? That's the least of my worries. Like, okay, baby, you're looking good. Let's go to the store. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean like inappropriate stuff. But there is a show too right now on Showtime. I don't know if any of you have seen it. It's called House of Lies. And the main guy's son has a teenager, and he's about 13 and dresses eyeliner. His mom takes him shopping for eyeliner, and he's very feminine and dresses like a girl and so on and so forth. So it's mainstreaming.
Here's the thing about the hormones. I say, because in America, the majority, when you enter into your majority, is the day you turn 18. Up until that point, the child has to follow by the parents' rules, and if the parent decides to let this child start taking hormones at a certain time, to let them do it. However, I think you should allow a person to go through their body's natural adolescence,
right?
Because it is easier to change afterwards than it is to change before.
Then they go through adolescence twice.
They do
when
go
they
through
start on
adolescence
they
twice.
have to go through the adolescence as the other sex.
But here's the other thing: a lot of transgendered people, the one thing that they experience that most normal people don't is they don't experience adolescence the same way. Their adolescence is lesser. Their voice doesn't change as much. They don't grow as big of breasts. They don't, maybe they don't get as many curves if they're, female to male.
But the emotional part, because I've done a
emotional.
lot of research on transgender, and they're going to have all the female hormone stuff is what they're going to have a lot of.
Yeah, I don't think they should. I don't think kids should be chemically altered at all.
And I have seen another show that I watched, another special where parents allowed like their 13 or 14-year-old, it was a girl wanting to be a boy, start taking hormones at teenage.
What plastic surgery is really popular amongst teenagers now. So
I don't know.
And I don't agree with that either. But dressing, I don't mess with your DNA.
Right. Right. At that young age. Yeah, but you're right. If a little boy at 4 years old knows that he doesn't want to wear a baseball cap and blue jeans and he'd rather wear a pink skirt, who are we to say? I mean,
I think it's perfectly fine for
or if he wants to paint his room pink.
I was a tomboy for many, many years. I would not wear a dress. Of course, the last time I wore a dress before I stopped wearing dresses, I tripped on the front of my dress and scraped my face off, so I never wore a dress after that.
And now that's all you wear, skirts.
Yeah, that's all I wear now. But all the way through high school and even outside of high school, I was always a pants kind of girl. I was always a tomboy kind of girl. I still like boys, but
yeah, you did want to become a boy,
right? I had a fashion.
That's a difference,
sense. Right? I had a fashion sense that was my own, and that's what I had. And I don't think you should stifle that in anybody.
No, I don't either. So
anyway,
it's a big controversy.
I'm a big Pinterest person. I love collecting pictures on the web, and Pinterest is a really great site for that. So I'm Dame Vegas on Pinterest, Alexia on Dame Vegas, on Pinterest, and SinCityBounty now has their own Pinterest, and I'll make you guys all
we have our own Pinterest.
Yeah.
We don't even
Thank
know.
you so much for making that for us.
I can make my own Pinterest. Are
You
you gonna
have-
make
you
me
have
my own
one.
I think
board?
I have one.
No. One is for SinCityBounty. You guys can have your own if you want, but there's one for SinCityBounty, and I'll make sure you all can pin on it as well. So, but one of my favorite things to pin.
Cheeks is looking like. Yeah.
Just another
Won't
thing
be
for me
doing
to
that.
frickin' follow. God.
Yeah,
I already get scolded because I don't tweet enough.
Right. I don't never know what to tweet, so that's
and
my
it's been
problem.
like 2 weeks for you. Anyway.
I really just got scolded.
My goodness.
I tweeted at the beginning of this week, I think.
No.
Sure.
I have a list
sure?
that says just us, and I check.
Oh my God! She checks our homework.
And you know what? Every time she
OMG.
mentions this, I pull out my phone and tweet.
Yes, she
Ah,
does.
that's an unfair advantage you have because you see her every day at work. But wait a minute.
No, I only tweet.
She only does it on the day of the show.
I only do it on.
But wait a minute. We should remind
haven't
each
tweeted
other
in a
every
week.
day. We see each other 4 days a week, 5 days a week. We should remind each other to tweet.
Sure, like that's gonna work.
If we stop right then and there and tweet, it will.
Tweeting because I said so.
Or Alexia will yell at me. There you go.
Yeah, tweeting so I don't get scolded.
See, my thing is with Twitter, I see the little bird, and then there's a little dot with a number in it, and I click on it. Now what?
So
Somebody tweeted something, and I don't know where.
Going back to Pinterest,
sorry,
one of
sorry.
my favorite things to pin is these young kids who dress themselves up in these costumes. And one of my very favorites is Darth Vader pink ballerina
Oh, that's funny.
with the lightsaber and the helmet and the pink. And it's just a really cool
Well, did
mashup.
you hear what my grandson dressed up for Halloween? He wanted to be a hip hop skeleton.
Nice.
So he got a skeleton suit and he wore a hat sideways. He got this giant dollar bill gold chain. And where they came up with the idea of hip hop skeleton, but he knew what he wanted to be as a hip hop skeleton.
Yeah, we have pictures of that.
Too funny.
My
That's
kid
very
wants
cute.
to be a Bakugan character this year. He's already decided.
Oh,
All
no,
right.
him and my little guy decided they were being some kind of kids characters on Nicktoons and together.
Bakugan.
What the hell do I know? I
Wasn't he
have no idea.
Bakugan a couple years ago?
He was Bakugan a couple of years ago. He wants to wear the same costume. I said it's not going to fit, and he goes, "Well, we can just cut it up."
Because I remember you told us the story about going door to door, and he had to tell everybody who he was.
Yeah,
I'm Bakugan.
yeah. He's going to have to do it again this year because leave it to my kid to like obscure anime.
No, that's so appropriate. for your kid.
They watch that.
So we have two great guests today. We
We do.
have Tamia Dow from the International Association of Women Police, and she's going to talk to us about stalking.
This is a great thing to talk about.
Yes. And she's here with us in studio. Do you have any comment on a 4-year-old dressing as a girl?
No comment.
Don't worry about it.
We'll go down.
No, she needs to pull it down because it's too high up.
We'll fix it on the
adjust
break.
it. We'll
Okay,
adjust it.
no worries.
And okay, and she's going to be joining us for the first like hour and a half, or from now until 8:30. And we have a special call-in for somebody from a friend of ours who has a stalker. I don't know if they want to use her name, so we won't do it right now. She can give her name on the air if she wants. And then after that break, we have, of course, our update from BBW Fan Fest from Platinum and Desiree Devine, and then we have Brie Brown from Well-Rounded BBW to talk about the big event coming up in August. So this is going to be a great show.
It is. It's going to be a really good show.
I'm very afraid that we're going to run out of
Showtime.
Space.
Showtime.
for.
And we were so worried when we went to 3 hours. Now we're like, we don't have enough time. I know.
Wait, and who was it that suggested we go back down to 1 or 2 hours?
That was me.
Yeah,
2 hours.
knock her off her chair.
I'm not going to comment on that.
But we love you.
So before we get into Tamia, which we're going to do about 7:30, let's get some of our catch-ups out of the way because we might not have time at the end. So I want to talk about Mama's new El Camino truck. Because that's what it reminded me of.
It is so pretty.
Is that a military green color too?
No, it's like steel gray.
It's all like spaceshipy inside. I got to ride with her today.
Spaceshipy.
I got a new truck. But let me tell you, because you guys know we discussed this on Valentine's Day about getting flowers and all this stuff, and DJ doesn't like that stuff and yada yada yada, and how we discuss stuff. Let me tell you what he did. So Monday I went to go test drive the truck. He said, "Go look at it, go see if you like it, yada yada yada." Okay. I get in it, love it. Tiara, the baby's with me, love it. We got to get this one, mommy. We got to get this one. Okay. So I get home and we're at the place and they don't want to give him the deal that he wants. He tells me, walk off the lot right now. Because they didn't.
Is that when you called me? Oh, they're going to take the deal. But where's my truck?
I went and got my nails done too. I heard the same.
So, but anyway, so he told me to walk off the lot. Well, he said they're going to call. So they called and they came down another 500. He's like, no, that's not what I told you. So apparently this whole week that he has been bragging to his coworkers because I followed instructions because he told me to leave without giving him any, I did cry a little bit, but that's a whole nother story. But I left, and he was like, that's this ticket right there. When his thing is all like survival, and we always talk about if he says get down, that means get down now. Don't ask questions like why, what's going on, kind of thing. So apparently he's been bragging to his coworkers about that this week. So Saturday, I'm in the shop full of people. And I look up and there he is there. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What's wrong? What's going on?
What have you done?
Yeah. He's like, I gotta go. I'm in a hurry. Okay, but why are you here? And he goes, here. And I was like, what is this? And he handed me the key. And I'm like, it's like, that's the key to your new truck. My new truck? What the fuck truck? What are you talking about? The one that you wanted. I said, where is it? He says, parked in the parking lot. Oh. In front of everybody in the shop. And they're like, ah! He said we sounded like a bunch of chickens.
Oh, that's
but it was
awesome.
Like,
I can imagine.
So yeah, so it was kind of cool.
I've heard them.
So I kind of like him right now. So
I kind of like him right now. Go thing.
How many
right?
movies did that just buy him?
How many? Yeah. How many?
Oh wow, that's like a definite amount.
Oh, I don't know. I think there's like 7 or 8 on there now.
Seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One of the girls said he now likes my coworkers because they're saying that I had to give him some twice and swallow and all kind of other shit. So
that's the big thing.
Now he likes everybody now at the shop. So
as long as your mouth is on his penis when he comes, who cares if you swallow? Really?
I do.
Why do those guys care? As long as your mouth is on the penis when he comes, what does he care?
Well, one of the guys sent me a message and said better than none at all. So I don't know, but yeah. So I kind of like him right now, and I started getting all my new stuff.
All your new clothes and stuff and bras. Is that a new bra?
Oh!
So it's been a nice week. Although, been a great week, except for this morning. I went to go put money in the ATM machine, and the ATM machine ate my money.
Oh, that's lovely.
So I was a little distressed this morning.
Well, it'll be in there. The bank will have to give it back.
Well, I called them, and they're like, because I told them, the amount that I put in there, and it said some of your bills cannot be processed or some shit. And I'm like, what is this? So it started spitting money back out to me.
Well, at least you got it back.
Yeah, no, I only got some back.
Ooh.
And then there was one stuck in there, and it was like, and then all of a sudden it said, transaction canceled.
I'd have stayed right there and called the bank.
I did. I did. And so they're gonna fix it. They said they credited me what I told them. And then they're going to investigate.
They got to find it in the machine.
It's in there.
Yeah.
I know it's in there. I put it in there myself. But it was a little stressful to say transaction canceled, and I didn't even get to put all my info in, So,
God.
Yeah, it was a little messy.
But wait, that's my money.
Right.
Can I tell you my funny mama story for this? I know it's her catch-up, but this is really funny.
Well, did it happen this week? Then it's part of the catch-up.
I had a dream about mama this week. You girls are going to die when you hear this dream.
Just sex with her?
No, listen, this is, you guys, okay. So we're all, and I don't know if we were in the studio, but we were in some building, we're getting ready to start a show. And mama comes to the door and she has this pink flowy, outfit on, and she's leading in a horse. She says, we're going to do a photo shoot.
Hell yeah.
And all of us were like, why didn't you tell us we were doing a horse photo shoot? We would have come prepared for a horse photo shoot.
She said doing a horse.
And and mama, you know how mama, she gets all happy sometimes, and she's like, so she's all happy and proud. She's like, but I got us a horse. No lie, I had this
before
dream.
She went to bed, but
something, or ate something good.
Right.
And we were all
or bad.
but you didn't tell us. And we were all upset because we wanted to bring horse picture gear. You know, and Mama didn't tell, but she was so happy we had a horse.
You know what I want to do? I'm going to recreate my favorite picture of Harry Potter, where he's naked against the horse.
No. He's so young in that picture. It's like
He's 18 in that picture.
pedophilia.
That's not.
Pedophilia.
I swear to God, she sends me this picture in an email, and it's a Harry Potter kid, and he's leaning up against this white horse, and it's a beautiful picture, and he's completely naked.
You can see his penis.
And I swear to
no,
God.
he's a baby. I mean, come on, right?
No.
Really?
There is a reason he was posing with a horse.
Whoa.
Well, he was in a play or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
You know,
he
it's
was
some
in a-
nerdy guys that you really got to be worried about sometimes.
Yes.
That's why she dates him. She's told us that a million times.
I swear by the large nerd penis
But
rule.
it's Harry freaking Potter.
Yeah, I would feel like I was
Every time
like
you say
I was a
nerd,
child.
every time you say nerd, it reminds me of Revenge of the Nerds, and the line in there is like, all we think about is sex. Like, how'd you get so good at that?
Because they read about it.
That's all we
According
think
to
about.
Sierra, I love that one.
Yes, they're busy studying, learning, contriving, creating diagrams, doing all of the physics calculations on it. They know what the fuck they're doing when they get in there.
They can geometrically calculate where the G-spot is.
That's right.
Oh.
With their eyes closed and 3 toes tied behind their back.
Oh,
3 toes.
So what else happened to you this week, Mama?
Woo, that's about it. I mean, that was like good stuff.
What's the count on your videos now?
127 or 28,000.
And any new ones?
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 new ones. I think there's like 7 or 8 total.
From
now.
last, okay. Because last week there were 3 new ones.
Yeah, I think that was the new ones.
Okay.
I think
so-
there's 8 total now, but there's like about 130,000. I think it was 128, 20 something like that.
Mhm.
I think that's what he told me because he keeps track. He's all proud. Yeah. I'm like, you have 128. You should see some of these comments. Look at this guy right here. 5 of them are in his top favorites. Oh yeah, we're putting him on our favorites list.
Oh
said,
my
okay.
God. That's
I said,
so
okay.
funny.
I said, okay,
That's
put
so
him on the
funny.
favorites list. And he's like, what's
You know,
so
you're
funny?
gonna
I'm like, I'm laughing at you. So
You're going to
excited
have to
about
get
it.
a booth at FanFest. You know
I
that.
know, huh?
We'll make sure it's right next to ours. So
Okay.
you
So you go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's, I don't want to get sweaty and stuff, you know.
Fucking diva.
So how many times have you watched them this week, Sierra?
None this week. I've been actually rather busy this week. So.
Yes, you have. I haven't heard from you most
Yeah,
of the week.
been
so.
pretty busy.
I really like the little pink thing you got going on underneath your
Thank Yeah.
black and
I bought this pink shirt at when I was in Southern California.
very nice.
Yep.
All right, you got any ketchup?
Well, I told y'all I was going to have a real date this week.
Yes.
I lied.
Was it a sex date?
It was one of those nice guys that you met at the club, right? You were thinking about going...
Okay, let's talk about the Frenchman first, okay?
The Frenchman.
The Frenchman. Okay, like I was supposed to go out with him, but I couldn't go out with him Monday or Tuesday night. So I told him I could see him Wednesday. Well, he got his knickers all in a fucking twist and decided to leave on Wednesday and asked me if I knew any other girls that could come over to his hotel room.
Whoa.
Fuck him.
Fuck you. Okay.
So that one's out the window.
And then he says, he goes, I knew you were just a fantasy when I met you. Okay, well, go jack off, okay? Okay. So then there's the second nice guy that I met. You know, working men are nice men.
You would think.
If
Yeah.
he's got a job.
So, but anyway, so we were going to see each other last night late. He didn't get off work till 9, and I didn't get done doing what I was doing until 10. But I got a call for a job. So, and I knew when I get done
That's
with
a stripper job for
that's
those
a stripper
of you who
job
don't know.
who don't
Right.
know. So I didn't see him last night because I went and had simulated sex with a midget man.
Nice!
You had simulated sex with a midget.
I was on top.
Where's the video?
You were on top.
Where the fuck did he go?
Is there video?
In the folds.
Did anybody YouTube that shit?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know what happens what pictures they take, what they video, what they do.
Poor Tamia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
just looked over.
I just startled our guest. Yes, I am a big girl stripper.
Wow.
She works actually rather regularly these days.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, so
Well, I was just working on the visual with the midget.
Midget, yeah,
That is
Where did
my
he go?
favorite kind of porn, by the way. Midget dudes banging fat chicks. I fucking love that
well,
shit.
what happened was it was a bunch of, you could tell these guys had some money. I don't know why they were in town, but they were all lit up and drunk, and it was a last minute thing. They like called one of the entertainment companies I work for. And they were they just hired everything.
They sound like
there
my
was
kind of
me. They
guys.
tried to get my little midget girl, but she couldn't make it. There was me. There was the midget guy. They had a juggler. They had some of the skinny chicks. There was
What
a
have you
girl
got?
on
We'll take one of
stilts. I mean,
everything.
they just like, I don't know what they spent.
That's
They
awesome.
played sweet tomatoes buffet at the stripper hiring place. Didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much. So
one of these, some of that.
this particular booking agent, it's a big dollar account when he comes,
Ooh.
because I haven't seen him in 5 years, probably.
Wow.
So and it wasn't with Steve and Maria, because Steve and Maria always Steve is always my body,
Right.
just in case. But so it's a big deal when he shows. It's big money floating around that place. So we're all doing a thing, we're supposed to just walk around and mingle, and then some drunk ass wanted to asked me if I ever had sex with that midget boy, and I said no, and so it just turned into simulated sex on the bed that was in the middle of the room, and they were throwing bills on the bed, so I don't
Did you
care.
split it with the midget?
that
or did
a
I
you-
have to split.
Or
my-
did you do it
by weight, yeah. I got he got about a fourth of the tips. I got the other 3/4. No, we split those tips evenly. But yeah, so anyway, bonus to the guy I was supposed to have a nice date with, because he was very understanding that I couldn't make it, and we were going to get
yay.
together another time during the week. But
Brittany Bitch 27 says that French guy can choke on a bag of dicks.
I agree.
I love that name, Brittany.
But
bitch.
you guys, I gotta tell you something. I get a little fearful of men over 45 who have never been married.
Why?
Because why?
Why?
Cali guy's over 45. He's never been married.
I think that they have an issue. I think
kind?
that I don't know. I find that the longer I know these guys, you could tell like they're the reason they're not married. Have never been married. Like,
Too demanding.
or
That's usually the first thing I say to somebody who starts complaining about their boyfriend broke up with them. I'm like, how many boyfriends have... Everybody breaks up with me. Everybody.
yeah,
Like,
what's
you
the
gotta
common
look out
denominator?
yourself.
Yeah, the common denominators. That's exactly. So I'm a little leery.
I can understand that.
I'm a little. There's something I kind of like tiptoe, because I'm like, something ain't right. Nobody's been good enough. Something.
What if they just wanted to? They were wild and they didn't feel like settling down or having children or anything like that.
So guess what?
Yeah.
At 50
They just
years
wanted to do
old,
whatever they
you
wanna
ain't
do.
ready to settle down at 50. Then,
You know what?
because-
They just
I have
never
a-
want to get married.
Right. I have an uncle that's I think he's hitting his 70s here, like 65 or something like that. He has been married. He's Elizabeth Taylor of our family. He has been married so many times, hates to be alone, so he just marries whoever
yeah, he's a
sees.
serial
And-
marrier.
Yes, and he is still wild to this day. And,
Yeah.
you
So
know,
it just.
My
it just-
side of Mike's over 40, and he's never been married. And then that's because he hasn't found the right woman yet.
okay. I guess I.
And from the stories that I've heard, plus he works a lot. I have to tell you, being the wife or the girlfriend, even, I'm not even the wife yet, but being the girlfriend of a guy who works in a union where you're on call all the time, we can't plan anything.
Right.
His birthday was this last week. We couldn't go because he got a call for work, which is great. I don't mind. you
Yeah,
know?
it's work. Yeah.
I do my own thing, but there's no way. He said, I'm going to give you my uncle's number. We got to plan a dinner to go out to dinner with him. I'm like, how am I supposed to do that?
Right.
How
I don't know
am I
when he's going to
supposed to
get
plan?
called. Right.
Yesterday morning, I had to be here at work at 9:30. He didn't come to bed until like 4 a.m. and they called him at 6 a.m. to be there by 7 a.m.
Wow.
And
And you know what? And like he's in the union for the
Right.
stagehand stuff. Well, I actually knew a guy I dated for a while who was in the union for the banquet waiters.
right.
And he actually, no lie, had 10 of those little cheap Walmart phones, because you had a certain they have a certain hour every week that they got to call in, and he can work at several of the so he has to call all of these at the same time and it rings to try to get on the schedule for the
Right.
banquets. That's insane to put them people through that.
What I'm saying is, with Mike not marrying anybody, there's a lot of women who wouldn't put up with that. Number
Right.
one, and he understands that, I think. So he makes sure that before he gets into anything serious, he's gonna,
And you know what? It could just be my stupid ass that uses it as an excuse.
I have a
they
question.
scare me.
I have a question.
Okay.
Though. So, do you guys ever, or has anyone here ever wanted to ask someone you're getting ready to date that's over 40, that's never been married, have you ever wanted to ask, can I talk to some of your ex-girlfriends?
I need references.
No, but
No.
I got.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, but no, I haven't.
I think it'd be great.
I've got actually my boyfriend is over 40 and he's never been married. He's in chat right now. He says, what issue? The reason I've never been married is that I never wanted to be married. Why do I need a better reason? I really hate that the assumption that I'm supposed to want to be married if I don't, and if I don't, there is something wrong with me. I've never wanted to live in Cleveland either, so what?
Yeah, you're right. You know what? And I 100% believe this is my thing.
He told me that if I asked any of his ex-girlfriends, that I'll say, yeah, he's a great guy to be with, and it's like, yeah,
It's like dude facts.
So here we got
the
some
dude facts on you?
chatter. Cali guy is in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. So he says, what issue? The reason I've never been married is that I've never wanted to be married. Why do I need a better reason?
No, and you know what? He doesn't.
No.
I'm just saying a red flag goes up for me.
For you, right.
For me,
Right.
when I talk to a man and they tell me how beautiful I am and how they want to date me, but, they've never been committed to anybody.
Right.
So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, and I'm not saying I can't work through that with that person, but when you meet somebody, you always got a red flag about something. Come on, nobody's perfect. That's one of my red flags.
My
You have
first
too many
red
flags.
flags was that he liked me. I was like, oh, there's got to be something wrong.
No, see, my problem, my ego's so as big as my ass, so I think everybody likes me.
I was in this weird period when I met him where any guy who liked me was a fucking whack job or a freak. And
I
so it was
understand
like,
that. I understand that. I've been through phases like that.
Diamond Dave says, Sweet Cheek said she'd marry me, but I won't give up my wild ways.
Yes, Dave.
She won't either. Just
I
so you
won't
know.
either. So
Match made in
So,
heaven.
like, yeah, I
guess.
was just gonna say maybe it's a match made in heaven.
That works for me.
So I didn't go on a real date, but it was because I worked. So
But you
that's
still
allowed.
have the one that was understanding. So.
I did, and I thanked him very much for being understanding. And I said, "This is my schedule this week. Let me know, if you're off any evening, and I would love to get together with you and see." Part of me goes, "Oh fuck him, turn the phone off," because
So you got 1 out of 3.
2.
1 out of 2.
What is this, 50-50?
Well, because she see me walking him out and kissing him goodnight that night at the club.
I lost count.
I had to line him up and walk him out. That was the next
count.
guy, yeah. So you're listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on Vegas All Net Radio. We'll be right back. Don't go away. It's going to be a great show.
Join us at the annual trade show where all your favorite adult BBW performers will be. BBW Fan Fest 2013, coming July 26th, 27th, and 28th here in fabulous Las Vegas. Find BBW Fan Fest on Facebook for more info.
Join me for the Choice Radio Show on Fridays at 2 p.m. I'm Gwendolyn Smith, your host, who will guide you through the 1-hour experience. We will use the music of the Negro spirituals to remind us of our options in life. This music will guide us in coping with current emotional conditions. So meet me here at Vegas All Net Radio for an enlightening experience on Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. You choose.
Get connected to your audience with Endeavor Media Group. Find them online at emgnv.com.
Embrace your endeavors and take it to the limit with Endeavor Media Group. Visit them online at emgnv.com.
If you're looking to further your acting, modeling, or athletic career, contact Endeavor Media Group at emgnv.com.
Endeavor Media Group is a sports and entertainment PR firm connecting its clients with audiences everywhere through movies, television, radio, publications, websites, mobile applications, and special events. Visit emgnv.com.
EMG represents clients of all sizes and in a variety of industries. The firm works with companies, organizations, famous individuals, and political groups to advance their interests, manage communication-related matters, promote products and services, handle issues, and mitigate specific problems. Visit Endeavor Media Group online at emgnv.com.
SinCityBounty.com. If you're like me, you listen to Nights Over Las Vegas with the Commander every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on KLAV 1230 a.m. But during the week, do you need your dose of the music that everybody knows? Well, don't fret. You can listen to rebroadcasts or even download a podcast of Nights Over Las Vegas with the Commander on VegasAllNetRadio.com. That's right. Take the Commander home with you tonight, any night. Just visit VegasAllNetRadio.com.
We're back with the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com, the final frontier of free speech.
Motherfucker.
Do you know what I love about that? You can't talk like that without doing the
I know.
You gotta do the face with the voice.
You gotta look like you're sucking cock when you say. You cannot just do that.
You're doing very well, Alexia.
Hey, check out the Nights Over Las Vegas podcast that you can get over at Vegas All Net Radio. 3 hours of music everybody knows with the Commander, who loves us, by the way. He says every promo that we make, that because he plays them on his show over there on the AM station, has to have the beep in it, so they understand that we're over on the internet station. And then one of my favorite shows is the Choice Radio Show with Gwendolyn Smith. I love that show. I'm going to try to get her as much PR
I need to
as
figure
I
out
can.
how to get VegasAllNetRadio.com in my car.
You can't get it in your car.
I know, but I'd like to get it in my.
You need.
I know. I need a real phone and one of those docking things in my car.
No, you don't need a docking thing. You just need one of these little cords right here that plugs into your.
It's too much.
Whatever.
What? I put it in my boob and point the speaker up, and I listen that way.
Yeah, that's what.
Or I bring my earphones and put one earphone in, and the other one.
Because talk radio in the car sucks. Moose cocks for the most part.
Well, it is because most talk radio is conservative.
I know,
and more liberal.
Well, even I'm listening to it in the car, and even my grandson was in the back seat. And he goes, Grandma, they're talking bad about Barack Obama. I said, yeah, I know. Well, why are we listening to this? Because that's all there is for me to listen to. It was Rush Limbaugh. Give me a break.
Why aren't you listening to NPR? That's
well, if there's something on NPR at that moment, you know what I mean? Like, there's not always something interesting on NPR.
Yes.
I think the other day they were talking about,
NPR
oh,
today.
do you like this cute little tank top I bought? That was something on one of them stations the other. I'm like, please. Give me a fucking break.
Well, you know what? KLAV, during the day, we have some great shows now. We've got Celebrity Onset, which is on 5 days a week, and they had the official son of Elvis, the one that was proven to be the son of Elvis.
I didn't know
on
they
their
proved
show.
anybody to be the son of Elvis.
He's had a DNA test done.
Really?
It's been confirmed.
So how much
he
of
is the
Lisa
son of
Marie's
Elvis.
money does he get?
I don't know, but he was on their show, so they have.
Maybe that's why Lisa Marie moved over. That's why Lisa Marie moved over the river to Britain.
That's why he looks about his Elvis's son is about the same height and shape as my Snapple bottle.
Oh Jesus!
He was short and stumpy, but he could sing his ass off.
Could he sing?
Yeah.
I didn't get to hear him
I'm
sing.
surprised there hasn't been a reunion with him and his sister.
There will be.
Oh,
and it'll be on
I think
Lifetime.
It'll be on Oprah.
Yeah, it'll be on Oprah.
Oprah. Oprah
Yeah.
will
I think
do
it was just published, or he just published.
I'm gonna
a book or
have to
something
Google
like
that when I get home.
Wow.
Well,
Long time to-
his interview on Celebrity on Set was his first official interview as Elvis Presley's son.
Wow.
Why do you wait for something like that for so long?
Well, first you've got to get the DNA test done, and you've got to get someone to release. Elvis Presley has a DNA somewhere that you can test against, and you have to get
They
permission.
probably got
to
millions
test
of
against that.
clones of them down there at Area 51.
Probably.
Oh God.
But it takes a while to get all of the approvals to get stuff like that done, and then you've got to go through all the legal. Make sure you're going through all the proper legal channels of coming out so that somebody can't, come back against you and say you're trying to be slanderous or anything like that.
Okay, but okay, how long has Elvis been dead though?
Long ass
77.
time.
He died in 77.
Okay. So 77, 87, 97, 07. So this guy is 30-something-ish years old.
No, he's probably older than that.
17.
Probably old because Lisa Marie's in her 40s.
I'm just saying, why? Okay. If I knew I fucked Elvis.
Oh, you're
And
talking
I'm
about the
pretty sure-
mother?
Yeah. I need some money. Damn it. I'm gonna take care of your baby. Why do you wait all
Hold
this
on.
time?
Not all women are like that.
Okay,
No.
but you still want them to know who their parent is, whether it's not money or.
I don't know who my father is. I have no idea who my
Well,
real dad
I was
is.
adopted, so my thing
But
is
your mother
different,
can tell you
but
who your
still.
real dad's name is, right?
In her Asian accent.
Because my daughter's never met her father, but I could tell you all about his stupid ass.
The only thing I know very little about my dad, and the name that my mom gave me, it's a very common name, and I
gotcha.
don't think it's the right one because she's Asian.
John Smith. John Doe.
Yeah, that makes you wonder why they
Harry
waited so
Potter.
long for him to, be an adult man and get the DNA.
Right.
Like,
Well, maybe he just found out.
yeah,
That's
maybe
the thing.
Mama never told him. Mama died. We need to find the backstory out
Yeah.
on this
Right.
one. Yeah.
I'm just I'm curious to find out now why. I mean, did she leave a letter in her will
He's
to
publishing
to
a book
let you
about
know
it.
who your child is?
That's
you know?
true. That's
I
true.
don't know. It's kind
He's-
of weird to
He's
me.
publishing a book by the book.
By the book. I don't
by the
read. I hate reading.
Buy the ebook, motherfucker.
Can you just read it for me and tell me?
I'm sure there'll probably be an audiobook too. You can go to audible.com.
I haven't got my Diamond D book yet.
All right. So today I'm very excited about Tamia being here today because I witnessed her interview on Talk with Vince, which we've had Vince on the show, and you're a wonderful interviewee. And you tell. So I'm going to warn you: if you say something stupid, Tamia will put you in your place. Okay? Just so you know. Now,
Well, just put me in a place to start because I'm bound to say something stupid before we even get started, okay?
Tamia is a retired Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officer,
Wow,
detective,
Nice.
and now
She just put you in your place, detective.
Right. Get it right.
well, you got to get the titles right. And now you are with the organization of the International Association of Women Police, and you travel around the world lecturing on domestic violence and other issues like that.
Yes, I do. Although that doesn't have anything to do with me being with the IWP. I actually do that from my training from Metro.
Oh.
Because I got trained. That's why I said detective. I was a domestic violence detective
Right.
prior to
Oh.
retirement. So I have all the skills and the training to give out information. Just because I'm retired, that information doesn't
go away.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you still have that info, yeah.
So, I'm one of those people who decided in retirement, what do I love to do? I love to teach. I love to share the knowledge that I have, and I love to travel. So, the best thing is to figure out the things you love to do and then figure out a way to make money doing
all
that.
together.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
there you go. Wow, that's
You
great.
travel the world and teach people something. Hell yeah, why not?
Yes. that
So
is-
since we do a lot of club events and we talk a lot about going out to clubs and everything like that, I thought it would be really good to have you in for the stalking aspect, because January was National Stalking Awareness Month. And
Are you aware that you have a stalker?
now there are a lot of women out there and men, because we've heard the stories, that have stalkers, whether electronically or physically, and it can be a very scary thing. So I'd like to talk tonight about a little bit about identifying people who are stalkers, and then if there's any way possible to prevent people from stalking you, and then what do you do when you find out that you do have one? So
Well, it's pretty interesting to listen to where we could go with this show, because I started thinking about that today. Because even hearing you sit here and talk about dating, and we have to be so careful nowadays when it comes to dating, because you will pick up or can pick up someone who may become inappropriately infatuated with you and then garner a lot of attention towards you that can grow into what is considered stalking. Okay. And I want to talk about that because when you're talking about stalking, I want our listeners to understand that basically when you look at stalking, stalking isn't a one-time incident. It has to be a series of incidents or a course of conduct that leads somebody to feel, terrorized, intimidated, to feel harassed, to feel frightened by the behavior of this person. And the person can be male, the person can be female. It's not really a specific gender thing. Like, I've been stalked by a female before, before I actually even came on the police department. And at the time I didn't know it was stalking. I just was like really annoyed,
Sorry.
Why?
That's how you
Stop it! That's how we know each other.
Do you think all of this has been heightened, or it's easier because of the internet and the information that people can find? Is it more of a problem now than before the internet came to light, or is it just that we know about it more?
We know about it more. I mean, like in front of me right here, I have this article I pulled off about Rihanna and a stalker. And what I wanted to let your listeners know is you don't have to be a famous celebrity in order to be stalked. No. Rihanna just had a stalker arrested. I printed this yesterday. He was in her house because she's back with Chris Brown. I don't want to talk about that. Exactly. Yeah. But she's back with Chris Brown, and they were off on vacation celebrating her birthday. But her beloved stalker decided to come to her home because he believed that she was sending him love notes and that he personally wanted her to come. And he was found in her, well, let me get this right. He actually broke into the wrong house. He broke into her neighbor's house. Okay. Wow. So he was found in the neighbor's bed, like curled up on her pillow, talking about no, because Rihanna has another name, her real name. He goes, no, Miss Fenty is waiting for me. She told me to come here, and delusional. And in his mind, he seriously has this relationship with Rihanna, and he was supposed to be there waiting on her, and they write poetry to each other, and they have an intimate relationship together, and it's all in his mind.
Wow, crazy pants. So my one night naked on Bono of U2 fame's front lawn is not stalking.
No.
Okay.
I think that'd just be like indecent exposure.
But nobody saw me, so.
The satellite did.
Right.
So I want people to realize that you don't have to be a celebrity. You can be listening to me right now, and you can actually be stalked or being stalked.
So if you're one of these young beautiful girls out at the club,
don't have to be young and beautiful either. But
true. If you're one of these beautiful women or men that are out at these clubs, and you notice someone who is staring at you or is always wherever you're at in the club, and it makes you fearful, does that qualify as stalking, being a stalker? Or?
Not a singular incident in a club like that.
So one dude looking creepy, not stalkish.
No, because here's the thing, okay? Be real. People go to the club to look at people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You go to some people go to the mall to look at people, but for real, when you go to the club, people dress up when they go to the club. They make themselves look good. They want people to look at them.
They shake their fanny.
So if somebody is trying to do his basic, it's what is it? Human nature for women and for men. Okay. You find something you like, you want to get their attention. So if that person is just, okay, she's over there. Let me go try to see if I can get her eye over here. And let me go over here and see if I can get him to look at me over here. That's not stalking. That's just you not awkwardly trying to, court somebody or whatever,
You don't know how to approach you.
Exactly.
Now we talk a lot about online dating here, and I do a lot of online dating because I'm the only single one of the bunch. But is there some things I should look for in a person that should give me red flags?
Brittany bitch, I wanna ask this real quick. She asked this in chat. She said, I have a guy who comes to the club that we usually frequent and likes to video me dancing and send me the videos. A few times he's done it without my consent.
Well, there's
is that a fan, or is that a
interesting dynamic to that? Okay, so she is a performer.
No.
This is just dancing.
She's at the club dancing. It's a BBW club.
What's her relationship with the guy?
There you go. We need your relationship, Brittany. What's your relationship with the guy?
Because if they're corresponding, they
don't have a relationship.
How is he able to send her videos then?
He's at the club.
No. He probably on Facebook or something.
How is he sending it to her?
Yeah, he has to know something about her. email, a text message, a Facebook page.
Just an acquaintance. So you have each other's phone numbers then? I'm assuming.
No, I don't have my acquaintance phone numbers.
I don't. Acquaintances don't have my number either.
I have too many phone numbers in my phone that have a first name and say
So
POF
what was her response?
She said they're just an acquaintance. How does he send you the videos, Brittany? He got me my number on Facebook before I took it off. So back in the day when Facebook would post your shit to every bitch you had access to.
No, only if you put it on there.
Only if you,
Only if you
had
put it on
When they first allowed that, it was just open for everybody. You had to go in and block it.
Yeah.
I had to. I didn't even
who
know.
would put their phone number on there to start with?
Well, actually, when you started using your mobile phones to access your Facebook, they
It
started
automatically
putting
put
your
it on
mobile
there.
phone on there. I do remember when they used to do that. So that's another security alert for people out here listening. On your Facebook pages, you guys have to be mindful of who you accept as friends, because it's not really cool to have 1,000 and 1,500 friends, because that means you have 1,000 and 1,500 people who know your business and your daily activity of what you're doing. Okay, they know when you're in town, they know when you're out of town, they know, you're
only if you post it.
Yeah.
You post your kids' pictures, things like that, to 1,500 of your closest friends.
You know, anymore.
You really have to be mindful of that. You know.
Yeah. We all have 2 pages. I have my personal page, and then there's the Alexia page. That one I friend everybody. But I don't post shit on there either. So.
Exactly.
I don't friend everybody on there. I got a rule, and I post it regularly. If you don't got a picture or your name is in squigglies, you don't get an acceptance on my friend.
We can't read that. No, mine's.
Look, if it looks like a 2-year-old with a pencil, I'm not going to accept a friend request.
Well, I just think it's important that we don't use our stage name things as our personal.
Right. If you have a professional page, your professional page should only have those things related to
the show. To the show.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just all of a sudden feel like this is an intervention for me.
No, you only did it the once, and then I see that you've removed.
No, she's done it a couple of times, but she's been scolded,
she hasn't
so
done
she's
it.
doing better.
She hasn't done it lately.
But it's a big red flag for safety. So, and it's good that we're talking about that, because I really want to key on a lot of safety issues that could lead to you being stalked. Because here's the other thing too. Being public personalities, I mean, I have a page. I have a Chaplain Dow page that, if anybody wants to friend me, they can friend me. They can pull it up on Facebook and see, so they can see, me with friends and things like that. So, worst case scenario, somebody really becomes enamored with me, and it could go south, but there's ways to block people. I've had the opportunity of having to block somebody. Even today I had to block somebody, and it was just because he was making some inappropriate comments about a fundraiser I'm doing for a domestic violence shelter, and he came back with some negative comments, and I was just like, dude, who are you? I don't know who you are.
Right. Stop being a dick.
Exactly. Well, you probably don't know me well enough, but that's not the kind of words I use.
Yeah. That's what you're saying in your head, though.
Exactly.
That's what I know. That's what's going. Oh, what a cocksucker! Block, bitch.
I was like, really? Why is this guy even on my page? It's like, how did he find me?
We've had that before. We've had haters who end up on our Facebook page or on our show pages who just immediately start making negative comments. That's just because people are buttheads sometimes, and that's the only thing they want to do is go on and razz other people on the internet to get a rise out of them.
Yeah,
and that actually I could tell was his goal, because he made the comment and then I responded back to him. But now bear in mind, I'm a chaplain, so I kind of said, I don't know what your issue is. I'll have to pray for you.
Yeah, that's always the good answer. I'll pray for
you. Jesus loves you.
I know. It's just, I don't need you on my page. Goodbye. So yeah, you just and let me go back to Brittany's question that she was asking, because here's what I would need to know. If she would come to me as a detective and tell me, this guy is stalking me, my question is, number one, is he causing her to feel frightened or harassed or terrorized? Has she at any point told him not to do videos of her? Because if he's been doing this regularly, meaning sending her pictures and she's looking at the video and she's not saying, what are you doing? Stop doing this. Then he's going to think that this is acceptable behavior.
Right.
And in his mind, if he's thinking that they're friends, he's not thinking it's a big deal. Because I've had friends send me videos of me, you know, like at parties or things that I've been, or pictures or things like that. And I'm like going, stalker, stalker. You know, I'm not doing that because they're friends. So if this guy perceives that he is her friend and he's sending her videos of her dancing and he was obviously there to film it, you know, it's not like he was, you know, behind a chair and, you know,
he walking into the club saying, hey, how you doing, and giving her a little hug before the night starts. You know, that's a friend.
You know, exactly.
So if you're ever confronted with a situation like this, first step should be, yeah, that's kind of creepy, dude. Please don't do that anymore.
You have to put the person on notice, right? Yeah. You know, I mean, but I'm saying this because this is within a relationship, and I'm wanting to speak to that too, because a lot of, you know, one of the statistics here, it says that 76% of intimate partner homicides, the person was stalked by their intimate partner before they were killed. So if you break off a relationship, and I'll talk a little bit more about this just a little bit later, but if you break off a relationship with somebody, sometimes people don't understand, hey, we're not together anymore, you know, so they want to continue to do the things that they need to do to be in your life. And what I want to talk about is when that becomes beyond normal, like grieving a lost relationship behavior, and becomes stalking behavior.
Now, the whole stalking thing, like Brittany or whoever, when somebody first starts giving you that attention, it's nice, it's flattering, and so you kind of suck that up a little bit. But at some point, it's got to turn, this is no longer flattering, this is getting creepy.
Right. And something else I have circled here. I'm going to throw out statistics as I go along.
No, statistics are good.
It says about 1 in 5 female victims and 1 in 14 male victims experience stalking between the ages of 11 and 17. And the reason I'm saying the teen one right now is because of what you just said. Because what is normal for teenagers to do, and we as adults are kind of getting aware of it, is this constant contact on the phone, right? Either by text messages, and you know, and you can look at a text dialogue between teenagers. They do 1,000 messages in a day, and you're thinking, how are you going to school? How are you getting homework done? How are you, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So you have issues where the male or the female, depending, you know, the more dominant of the relationship, becomes controlling in the relationship, and that media gets them. They're monitoring the Facebook, they're making comments on the Facebook, I saw you with such and such, you know, all this kind of stuff, and it becomes really overwhelming. So one of the earlier...
I've stalked somebody's Facebook page.
Well, stalking a Facebook page is different. I talk about the lurkers that I have on my Facebook page too. You know, some people don't feel like liking you all the time. You know what I mean? Everything you say is
right.
You know, yet they're there. Right. You know, they've read your post, and you know, I'll end up seeing people out, and they'll go, "Oh, hey, I saw you were da 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 da," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't think anybody even read that," you know, because it'll go unliked. You know?
Yeah, no one's liking it. I understand.
Nobody liked my Facebook page.
I was like, I'm going to delete it.
Question before we go to break. DJ asks, if someone is uncomfortable telling a person in person to stop doing whatever it is that they're doing, can a third person be used to put them on notice?
Preferably, it would be best if you did it first and
have a partner with you or something.
If you feel uncomfortable. Actually, it's a good question. If you feel afraid of this person, then no, you shouldn't have to tell them to their face. You know, you can, you know, tell them over the phone. You can send them, if they send you a text message or an email, respond back to them. I no longer wish to communicate with you. Text them back. I no longer wish to communicate with you, whatever. Because then after that, subsequent to that, what they do then becomes a clear beginning of stalking.
Right.
Okay, because you have expressed you no longer have an interest in being involved with this person. But I do understand this person's concern, because it can be a safety issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But now let's say she sends one of her guy friends to say, hey, stop doing that. Isn't that like putting this guy in a potential fight or something to that effect?
It actually could, and there are certain type of stalkers that would actually, if they're aggressive stalkers, they would possibly fight that person, yes. And they would see that person actually as an obstacle to them getting to you now. Even if that person is just your guy friend, they're still going to see that person as an obstacle on them getting to where you are and to you.
Right. This is good stuff.
This is good stuff.
It's good stuff.
You're listening to the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. We've got to take a quick break for our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Find all of your favorite adult BBW babes on bbwgirltweet.com.
Hey you, this is Vince here on the Talk with Vince show, where no subject is off the table. We'll explore the depths of your mind. Spirituality, we talk it. Enlightenment, we talk it. Politics, we talk that too. Ufology, you want it, you got it. Conspiracy facts, we're on it. Sex, we talk it. So join me every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. for Talk with Vince here on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Talk that will blow your mind.
This is Danny Vegas. Hey, everyone, listen up. The D-Man is finally in the 21st century, and I am now on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Everyone knows I am straight up. So log on and dive in straight up noon every weekday on VegasAllNetRadio.com. I'm going to bring coolness back to business.
Get connected to your audience with Endeavor Media Group. Find them online at emgnv.com.
Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. It is time for our weekly club report. Brought to you right from the nationwide BBW Club calendar on Facebook. That's something we operate. And if your club is not mentioned every week, it's your own fault. You should be posting your events on our page at Nationwide BBW Club Calendar. Unfortunately, there's so many of you, we just can't spend the time needed to go through and pick out each one individually.
Can I comment real quick? If you invite Alexia to your event, that's how it usually gets up on the club if you don't post it yourself. So either post it yourself
or invite
Alexia. I don't remember what my last name is.
Zenethia, yeah.
It's just look up Alexia Z. All right, starting off with the situation, although not really. Jersey Shore BBWs will be hosting their annual karaoke dinner and dance party March 8th at Christopher's Pub at 7 p.m. For info, contact Larry at bbwadmirer2007@aol.com.
Goddess Parties. Next party Saturday, March the 9th at Blaggers, 8 West 38th Street, New York. It's a happy birthday Barbie party. Sexy Barbie nightwear, Barbie-inspired outfits, and men dressed like Ken-inspired outfits. More info at goddessbbw.com. That's a riot.
Somebody was obviously drinking on the break. Thursdays are always thick at the Power Exchange in Las Vegas. For more information, go to powerexchange.com.
BBW Club Catalina 80s theme party, Saturday, March the 16th, San Diego, California. Go to www.bbwclubcatalina.com.
Club Plush in Tampa, it's their Green with Envy party, March 16th. Let everyone admire what you got and make them green with envy. At Glow Ultra Lounge in Tampa, for more information, go to plushtampa.com.
Dallas BBW Bash, March 22nd through the 24th at the Holiday Inn DFW Airport South. For more information on this bash and other bashes put on by our friend Stu Bow, go to www.excellencebbw.com.
BBW Club Las Vegas, it's their monthly BBW party. Come party with the big girls. Saturday, March 23rd at Red Label Ultra Lounge. It's Sweet Cheek's birthday party. She's one old ass bitch. For more information, go to BBW Club Las Vegas.
But I can still shake it like a salt shaker.
I will have to say, I thought about it because BBW Takeover was last night. And I had too much work to do, so I couldn't go. But I had figured that if anybody was going, it'd be you and Mama if you could get there. And I think you posted whether you were going to be going or not. But I thought about how much you party more than I do.
And you're way older.
Yeah.
She's way older.
No,
they was fucking with me about my age.
No. I think it's great that you still have the energy. I mean, you not only do you go to these events, but you drink and you dance and you party. Fuck.
Well, hell yeah. and wait till the 23rd. Come potty with me on the 23rd, y'all. Let's do it.
She is going to be 85 years old in her little Zoomer. And she's going to meet. Where's the cute ones? And somebody bring me a rum and Coke.
Rum and Diet Coke.
No, I'm 82. Who gives a fuck? Bring me a Coke. It's the 10th annual Beach Bash, May 1st through the 5th in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Bash fees include all the parties, game contests, and all your meals. For more information, go to bbw-beach-bash.com.
You bitches,
you love us.
You love me, so fuck you all.
Yes,
officially, grand opening of Club Thicka-Latte. Saturday, March the 30th at 9 p.m. Stinger's Bar and Nightclub in San Bernardino. We could go to San Bernardino.
Yeah, if we ever got the gumption to go somewhere. BBW Fan Fest 2013. Set your calendars July 26th through the 28th at the Tuscany Hotel and Casino here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Meet your favorite BBW porn star, cam performers, models, and mama. For more information, go to bbwfanfest.com.
And immediately following BBW Fan Fest, we will be going to Well-Rounded BBW Las Vegas, Monday, July the 29th through Sunday, August the 4th. Join for all the parties, activism, friendship, hanging out at the pool, and the hugs. Check out wellroundedbbw.com. Next hour, Brie Brown will be on.
There are a lot of hugs at bashes.
It is.
There's a lot of hugging.
You know, when you've been to as many bashes as this old bitch has, okay, it's like a family reunion because you know everybody, or most people.
There are some days when I'm just not in a hugging mood. I guess there can't be a week that I go to a bash.
No. BBW Cruise, they're going Shipwrecked 2013. Shipwrecked in my favorite place, Punta Cana. September 14th through the 21st at the Punta Cana Resort and Spa in the Dominican Republic. For more information, go to bbwcruise.com.
Club Ample 9th Anniversary BBW Bash, May the 10th through the 11th. That's Friday and Saturday at the Marriott Hotel, Farmington, Connecticut. $25 per night at the door. Also, plus size thick and curvy cruise set sail 1 year from now, February 2014. 7-day cruise, $25 holds your room. Go to Facebook/group/plus size cruise. For this and all your other BBW events, go to Nationwide BBW Club Calendar on Facebook. Post your event, and we'll talk about them on the air. Thank you. Alexia has... Oh, I'm sorry.
Nationwide BBW Club Calendar, the original BBW Nationwide Club Calendar aggregate, where we were the first to bring you all the clubs from across the nation. Actually, that's not true. I think Diamond Dave beat us to it, but his information was outdated. So
it was Diamond Dave. I'm sorry to say, but when I went to your site, you had a list of all the clubs, and I still think on your website you do, but I think it's pretty outdated, unless you updated it recently.
Don't be messing with my boy Dave.
Dave's awesome. I think he was one of the reasons why we do a lot of the things that we do.
Yeah.
Because of the things that he did on his website.
We shared his website. Somebody shared it with us early on in the show, and we were like, "This is fucking amazing!" And we totally stole the club calendar idea from him. And we will admit to that Diamond Dave, you are the one who inspired us to do the club calendar.
All right. So, since we're here with Tamia Dow, who is a retired Metropolitan police detective and now works for the International Association of Women Police, touring the world, talking on subjects like stalking and domestic violence. She's here in studio with us today. Thank you, Tamia, for being here today.
Thank you.
And we actually have someone on the phone who currently has a stalker. And she wants to tell us her story. Gina, you there?
I'm here.
Thanks for calling in, Gina, to tell your story. We have Tamia in studio. She is our stalking expert. So tell us your story. You've had a couple of different stalkers, right?
Right. I've been married 3 times, and unfortunately, my first husband stalked me for 6 months after we separated. And it was just basic drive-bys where I was living, playing loud music, late-night calls, but nothing too crazy. And then that stopped. And then once I remarried, and then that ex-husband decided he was going to do the same thing. That didn't last very long. That was only about a month. And it was basically, I don't want anybody around my kids. If you bring anybody around my kids, things could get ugly. And he would like to do the drive-bys and whatnot. But then I remarried, and this one got a little bit worse. He took it as far as putting hands on me before we separated, and that was the reason we separated. And once that happened, I just couldn't deal with any of that, and had to get a protection order. He violated the protection order, and it took the court system, I think it was about 5 months, for them to finally take him to court for violating the TPO. And, it went as far as 100 text messages and phone calls throughout the day, calls at my work, calls to my friends, Facebook messages, emails, drive-bys. It was just outrageous. I was getting flowers at work, and not just once, twice, 3 times, no, about 6 times. It just got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and so my protection order went on for about 5 months. I even had my car keyed, I had sugar in my gas tank, and just a lot of threatening phone calls. And to this day, even though the divorce has been finalized since November, to this day he still texts me and calls me, even though I've told him repeatedly he needs to stop, even though the TPO is now expired and it hasn't been renewed again. But he still, does the texting and the calling every once in a while. And I tell him, you need to stop. You need to move on. Sometimes the stalking can be innocent, but sometimes it can be a little creepy, and you feel very unsafe. So, stalking is nothing to be taken lightly.
Is most stalking done by somebody that knows you, like in Gina's case?
No, there's several different instances, but I want to address Gina's issue. Gina, are you in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Have you talked to a detective?
Yes.
Okay. Has a case been filed against your ex-husband?
Yes, and we just went to court, and it was pretty bad. He violated the TPO in March. He didn't get processed and in court until, or actually he got a letter from the court that he had to go to court, and I got a letter that he was going to be taken to court in May. So from February to, I think it was late February to May, nothing had been done about the violation. He hadn't been taken to court or anything. He had been arrested. No, actually, he hadn't been arrested until May, and he had violated the TPO in February.
And why is it that your TPO was not extended?
It was extended until about May, and then after that, he stopped the calling and the harassing. So he hadn't been doing it for like maybe a few weeks or whatnot, and so the judge said, do we really want to extend this again? And so, I was just done with going to court, and I said, fine, just let it go. He doesn't matter what happens, he's still going to continue doing it, and I just was getting tired of going to court. So finally, he got arrested in May, and then we went to court, I think, 4 times after that, and the attorney asked me, the city attorney asked me, well, what do you want done with this? I said, well, what do you mean, what do I want done? He says, well, do you want him to go to jail? Do you want him to pay a fine? Do you want him to go to anger management? And I'm like, well, all of the above. And needless to say, all he did was pay a fine. He didn't go to jail. He didn't do any time. He didn't do anything but pay a fine.
Okay, Gina, I don't know you, and I actually need to speak to other people who are going through the same type of situation. I do realize that it is part of a stalker's behavior is to try to wear you down. And it sounds like he had worn you down, and even though you said that this is what you wanted to happen, the courts are going to do what they're going to do, and what they, what they see are in the best interest of the court, basically, so they can move the case along and move it out. My concern was that you didn't get the order extended, because that gives the judge in the court a different view, because the judge is going to look at that and say, well, was it extended? Are they possibly, and I don't know if this is the case with yours, but it does happen with some cases that people reconcile, especially when they're dealing with exes, sometimes they do end up reconciling. So therefore the stalking behavior was unwanted for a portion of the time. And then now once you let that TPO lapse, or you let it expire, it's very difficult for us in law enforcement to do a lot to enforce things, because if you're talking back and forth, and this is to everyone out there, if you get a TPO, and I'm going to talk a little bit later on how you can go about getting a TPO. If you get a temporary protective order, you have to go to court. You have to log things that are happening in violation of the protective order. You have to let people know that a protective order is in place. And when I say people, I'm talking about people at your work, because you were talking about he was delivering flowers and things such as that, and sometimes this is a stalker's way of just letting you know that I can basically stalk you wherever you are.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I had phone calls and I had text messages. I see your car. I'm in the parking lot. I'm waiting for you.
And how did it make you feel when you were getting that stuff? How did it make you feel?
Oh, I was angry. I was so angry and so frustrated that even though I had a protection order, I wasn't being protected.
Yeah, but I need to hear something besides angry, because one of the things I was talking about earlier in the show is we have to look at whether people are dealing with breakups and grief behavior, or if we are dealing with people who are being stalked. Separate issues. Okay, if you have a forlorn lover that wants to get back with you, and you're kind of like, okay, I just don't want to be with you right now, that's different. That's why I asked you how did you feel? You said
and that's a great question, because I was angry, but of course I was looking over my shoulder. I was in fear.
Okay, so that's what I need to hear.
I didn't know what was going to happen and where he was going to pop out from, because he'd already told me, I see your car, numerous times. And the thing of it is I showed the judge proof. I gave her, there must have been about 200 pages worth of text messages that I had to email to myself from my phone, printed them out, took them to court. And there was all this proof of his Facebook page posting stuff. Oh, my ex-wife's a whore, and she's a tramp, and then the next minute, he's grieving for me or whatever, then he's mourning the loss of the relationship, and he was just flip-flopping all over the place. He was even messaging my friends and texting my friends and trying to either date them to try and get back at me, or trying to get information from them. And to this day, he's still doing the same thing. He still tries to get information on my relationship status now, and where I'm at, and how just today I was in church just earlier, and he texted me that he's going to give me the money that he owes me from my divorce. It's like, really?
Okay, why does he need to still contact you, and why are you still accepting contact from him?
Oh, I've repeatedly told him, stop texting me, leave me alone. I change my number. He winds up getting it from somebody that is willing to give it to him. So it doesn't really matter how many times I change my number. He'll wind up getting it somehow or another, because I have I'm a member of a large female plus size women's group. So there's a lot of people out there that have my phone number. So sooner or later he winds up getting it. And he starts calling me or texting me. And, of course, it's restricted, And then finally he gives up with the restricted phone calls because I won't answer them. Then he'll start texting me with his number. Like, it's just to the point where I ignore him. I just ignore him, because there's nothing. What am I going to do? I can't live in fear, and I can't live my life just, angry over him calling me or texting me. At this point, I don't fear him anymore, because It's like, really, if you're really going to come after me, just come after me, and we'll just throw blows or do something, because I'm to the point where I'm not going to depend on anybody else to come to my rescue. Because I mean, if it took the courts from February to May to finally arrest him for violation of the TPO, what am I to expect?
Well, what I'm trying to understand, Gina, is what have you done to ensure your own safety?
Oh, at home, you mean? Or my personal safety? I mean, I have a thing of mace at home. There's a baseball bat behind the door. You know, my kids know that if they ever see him or hear him, come around, 911. You know, he's not supposed to be here. The manager where I live, the mobile home park that I live in, they've 86'd him, and they've already told him, she might have an expired TPO, but we've already taken care of it, and we don't want you here. So if he does show up, I mean, there's people that know that he's not to be anywhere near me. And, you know, in the group of people that I associate with and in my social group, they also know the situation, so they warn me if they know he might be along, you know, coming along, or he might have inclination of wanting to go to a same event that I'm going to be at or whatever, you know, and people know. People know because I've told them, you know, this is the situation. So, you know, thankfully I have a great group of friends that are always watching my back and watching out for me. And besides that, my fiance, who also, you know, basically had to move in with me before we were ready to actually move in together, because he was afraid for my safety and my children's safety.
Well,
so,
here's the thing on the phone. My mom was stalked for a long time by a real psycho fuck. And we ended up getting a TPO, and one of the things we learned is that every single cell phone carrier out there has the ability to block a phone number whether it's restricted or not. And if you have the phone number from no, that you need to find out who Cricket's main carrier is, because it's not Cricket. And they by law have to be able to block phone numbers. It's a law federally mandated, and they can only charge you after so many numbers. So everybody pretty much gets 10 free numbers on any carrier that they can block at any time. And we went through it a period of time where we would block a number, and he would find a new number and start calling and texting from that, and we'd block a new one, and we would just rotate through these numbers. And it's a pain in the ass, and it's hard to deal with, but eventually they get the point across. Now, we had a similar situation where there wasn't anything done with a TPO violation. The guy violated the TPO multiple times. We called the detective, told him every single instance when it happened. About the fourth or fifth time we called him, he said, well, what do you want me to do? And I said, take care of it. Isn't that your job? And he goes, well, I'll call him and see if I can get him to stop. And that was the extent of what happened with the
that
TPO
was my question to you. I've heard so many things that, you know, restraining orders and protective orders, like, they're, you know, not as good as the paper they're written on, kind of thing. Like,
unfortunately, that's how I feel.
Yeah, so what's your answer to that, darling?
Okay, my answer to that is I have to speak from the law enforcement perspective, and I know in order for us to move forward, there's two sides to it. We have to have the evidence to present to the court, and then the court has to see the case as a viable case to move forward on. And
are you talking about to issue the order or to act on somebody who's in violation of the order?
Law enforcement doesn't issue protective orders. The court does.
Court does. Okay.
Law enforcement enforces the protective orders.
So once the court puts the protective order in place, it's the police department who enforces that order. So
not until the person has been served with the protective order.
Okay,
well, trust me, this guy had been served. I know he was served. I was in visual range at the time the serving happened. I watched the service of the TPO papers. The place where my mom worked had a copy. The homeowners association had a copy. Everybody had a copy of the order. The guy knew he was not supposed to be calling and texting either my mom or myself, or I think there was my sister on there too. But he continued to do it. We called the detective that was assigned to us, and we said, hey, I'll forward you the text messages. Come down, take a look at them. He's still calling us. You know, I've got voicemails I can send you that are dated from today. And he was like, no, I get it. It's okay. I'm making a record of it. I noted. He noted it. Finally, the fourth or fifth time we called in a 3-day span, he literally said, well, what do you want me to do about it?
I have a question. I really have a question. I would really like to know why it is that it takes 48 hours to serve to get the court paperwork processed in the court and to have somebody served. Because that's what it does.
We went through a personal service. We didn't wait for the court to do it. We had it approved. We had copies of the papers that day, and then we had it served on through a service company as opposed to
in my case, he put hands on me. I left the house. He grabbed me and wanted to, shake me and just, whatever. I left the house. I went straight to the courthouse. Now this was like during the week. It was like I think it was like Wednesday or something. I went to the courthouse. They told me, okay, well, fill out the paperwork. I filled everything out. They said, well, it'll take 48 hours for the paperwork to get processed. So here I am at the courthouse, frustrated, upset because I just went through this physical and emotional, issue with him, and I have to wait 48 hours to get some protection. So I then go back home. Because, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? So I go back home, and I said, look, see these papers? I just filed a TPO against you. You need to get out of my house, and you need to get out of my house right now. So what happened? Thankfully, he was intelligent enough. He went to the courthouse to go find out if it was true. They served him there. But, and this was, 2 days later that they served him there at the courthouse because that's how long it took him to finally go down there and get everything done. But I don't understand. If a person comes in for a protection order, it's because they're really in desperate need of a protection. And, you can call the cops so many times, but really what's going to happen? That's why I want to know why it takes 48 hours.
Yeah, and that's not always true.
I'm waiting to answer the question. I'm just waiting for someone to finish talking with the question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the question that I heard you ask was you wanted to know why it took 48 hours for this service to be done. That was the question, correct?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question before I respond to that.
Sure.
Why did you leave the house and not call the police and have them come back to the house?
I tried to call the police, but he had my phone.
So why did you not leave the house, call the police, and come back to the house with the police?
Because I just wanted to get him out of the house. And I knew that if I call the cops, they're going to come and take him out of the house for temporarily. I wanted him out indefinitely. I don't want to have to deal with any of that.
You've given me a great ground rule to help people understand here, okay? If, in fact, you had called the police, left the house, went to 7-Eleven, AM, PM, whatever, called the police officers would have met you where you were at. You would have gone back to the house. He probably still would have been there. They would have taken him in custody for what is called battery domestic violence, because you live together, correct?
Right, but there was no bruises. It was just a grabbing, a shaking. He's like, you can't prove anything. And I told him, I said, I'm going to call the cops on you if you don't let me go, if you don't stop. And he's like, well, what are you going to tell him? I didn't hit you. I didn't do anything. All I did was hold your hand. He made it sound so innocently. Okay. So, that's why I just went to the court.
All right, Gina, so that answers the other part of my question. The reason why they told you down at family court that it's going to take 48 hours, because without physical evidence, they can't just run out and just anybody can come down there and make an allegation. Okay.
Right.
I can go down there and write up an allegation and say that,
Sweet Cheeks was messing with me.
Exactly. That she, it was striking me and was doing this and this, and they're going to say, okay, write it up there, and then do you have any evidence? No, I don't. Okay, so that people can throw...
You give you some evidence?
I'll give you something. Maintain your distance, please.
I'm a wimp.
But the thing about the 48 hours is if in fact you had done what I described before and there was physical evidence, I'm going to go with that one first for our listeners out there, okay? Because I know there are some people who... That incident happened like you described. There is physical evidence, but they leave because they're frustrated or whatever. And then, like you said, ran down to the courthouse and this and this and this. But you left this big gap. So now if we as police officers are not able to respond back and take this person into custody within 24 hours of when the allegation happened, if there was physical evidence to show that, in fact, a battery occurred, then you would have to go down and apply for a TPO. Because the time frame has gone by now for you to get a TPO. Yet, let's say the physical evidence was there, it occurred, we were able to take him into custody within 24 hours of the incident happening, then what happens is you can pick up the phone, you'll be told by the officer when he's arrested to call down to the court, you do what's called a telephonic emergency protective order. They will be issued right then and there and served on him before he is let loose from the jail. So that would, because remember how you were saying, I just wanted him out of my house, is what you said, correct?
Right.
Okay, that emergency protective order would serve as an eviction notice to that person that is in jail. Okay?
That's good news. Yeah, that's good stuff because I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's good.
Yet it has to happen because you see how I described the order.
Right.
It has to happen. The person is taken into custody. You, as the victim, have to pick up the phone, make the phone call, tell them what they need to know to put together a protective order for you, and then they will serve. He will not be released until the order exists, and then he will be released. Yet, with a notice that he has been served, he will have one police-accompanied visit to come back to the house to get basic essentials. He can't come and move half the house out.
Right.
Come and get
clothes and toiletries.
Right, basic, if he works for a business and needs to take his tools or whatever.
Right.
And he gets one time. Until the way the emergency protective order works is it's good from usually anywhere from 3 to 5 days, depending on if the person gets arrested over the weekend or whatever. And then there's an actual court hearing where he has to go before family court. You have to go before family court. They're going to ask you about the situation that you're in. Sounds like music's coming up. So I'll finish this off after our break. But yeah, we're going on a good grain right now.
We are good.
Gina, thank you so much for calling in and telling us about
Thank you,
what's
Gina.
going on in
Have
your
a
life.
great show. It was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It sounds like to me that there's just a lot of people are having a lot of different issues, from the way that the courts handle it to the way that the police handle it to the way
the person's handle it.
I think there needs to be a class for every young girl on what to do if you have a stalker issue. And every boy, too. Everybody should go this should be in your home economics class.
In a perfect world. Yeah, in a perfect world that would happen, right?
You should have your sex ed class, your handgun class, and how to handle a stalker back to back.
So we're going to take our break. When we come back, we're going to see if Tamia will stay.
Yeah, our next guest is on the way. I did get a text. She's
we have
running
Brie
in traffic.
coming in for the Well-Rounded Bash. Don't go away. We'll be right back. The Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City Radio Show is brought to you by VegasAllNetRadio.com, the final frontier of free speech. Get your own damn show. By BBW Fan Fest 2013, July 26th, 27th, and 28th in fabulous Las Vegas. Visit bbwfanfest.com. By Curve Media Inc. Look good in your photographs. By emgnv.com. Connect with your audience. Contact Endeavor Media Group for all your public relations needs. And by bbwgirltweet.com. Follow all your favorite BBW porn stars on Twitter. Get connected to your audience with Endeavor Media Group. Find them online at emgnv.com.
Embrace your endeavors and take it to the limit with Endeavor Media Group. Visit them online at emgnv.com.
If you're looking to further your acting, modeling, or athletic career, contact Endeavor Media Group at emgnv.com.
Endeavor Media Group is a sports and entertainment PR firm connecting its clients with audiences everywhere through movies, television, radio, publications, websites, mobile applications, and special events. Visit emgnv.com.
EMG represents clients of all sizes and in a variety of industries. The firm works with companies, organizations, famous individuals, and political groups to advance their interests, manage communication-related matters, promote products and services, handle issues, and mitigate specific problems. Visit Endeavor Media Group online at emgnv.com. See the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City and your favorite BBW porn stars at BBW Fan Fest 2013, July 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Tuscany Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. For more information, go to BBW Fan Fest on Facebook.
Follow your favorite BBW porn stars on Twitter. Find them all at bbwgirltweet.com.
I'm Martin O'Leary of the O'Leary Clan. from behind Main Street Books. And I don't always listen to internet radio, but when I do, I listen to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com from 7 to 10 p.m. They're awesome, and I love them. When I'm not fat chicks behind Main Street Books, I'm listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. Like them on Facebook. I like them all the time. Follow them on Twitter. They don't know I follow them everywhere. And visit them at SinCityBounty.com. Sin City Bounty. Put the N in there. It's not bounty, it's bounty. I'm sounding Scottish now. Arr!
The honorific Smash debut album, Yay, is gonna make you wanna sing.
Just gotta sing to make the whole world ring. Just gotta sing to take your mind off the hood.
With hits like Just Gotta Say,
Just gotta sing.
Only in My Dream,
It was only in my dream.
Suspicion,
Torments my heart. Keeps us up.
It Must Have Been Love.
It must have been love, but it's over now. It's all that I want, now I'm living without. Must have been love, but it's over.
Yay is available for a special low price at Amazon, Rhapsody, Reverb Nation, iTunes, and at thehonorifics.com. Thehonorifics.com. Yay!
This is Sierra from the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, urging you to adopt, not shop. There are hundreds of thousands of animals out there looking for homes, and you could be their next forever home. Visit your local animal shelter today to find your next family member.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
That's the sound of On Wheels Now, every Tuesday at 6 p.m.
If you like cars,
The smell of gasoline and rubber.
or just love motorsports and auto racing,
On Wheels Now is your inside look at local motorsports.
so don't miss the action.
We'll keep you in the loop with the latest local racing news.
We're race car drivers too, so join me, Michael.
And Mike, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Find us at onwheelsnow.com.
This is Jim Jonas asking you to listen to Veterans in Politics. Veterans in Politics is a weekly broadcast internet talk show hosted by myself, Jim Jonas, and Steve Sanson, president of Veterans in Politics Incorporated. That airs every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at www.vegasallnetradio.com. Veterans in Politics' sole purpose is to teach, educate, and inform veterans on issues and the candidates that will affect them. Too many politicians say they support veterans and their issues, but their actions tell a different story. Here at Veterans in Politics, we will expose these politicians by giving them a chance to come in and explain their actions to veterans so veterans can truly make informed decisions. Listen every Saturday to stay informed and to hold politicians accountable for their votes.
This cowboy here loves riding bareback. Come here, young filly.
Whoa, hold your horses there, stranger. This here filly don't take kindly to sexually transmitted infections, so you'll be wearing a condom if I have to lasso and hog-tie you down. Sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, can lead to discomfort, unpleasant discharges, infertility, and even death. Girls, don't you let some handsome stranger defile your lady parts without some protection. Carry your own condoms and always be prepared. Remember, your body, your choice.
Brought to you by the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. Learn more at SinCityBounty.com.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Hi, this is Stacy, the Doxy Diva. And Sam, host of the new Hot Diggity Dog Show. Join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. as we talk about various subjects as they relate to dogs, such as health and wellness, training, responsible pet ownership, current news, rescued pets, pet events, and special guests.
So let us educate and entertain you on Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on Vegas All-Net Radio.
Let us bring out the dog in you.
Hot dog!
This program is intended for mature audiences only and contains strong or potentially offensive language of an adult and sexual nature. So, listener discretion advised.
The views and opinions expressed on the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City do not reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio or its affiliates. All music, stories, and characters are the sole property of their creators and are protected under international copyright laws.
Sierra, Alexia, Mama, and Sweet Cheeks are personalities put on for your entertainment.
The stories are real. The language is explicit. The behavior is unbelievable.
If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. Find them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, watch their archives on YouTube. Here we go with the show.
Welcome back. You're listening to the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. We are talking stalking. This is important, people. We joke a lot about internet dating and people we meet at the club and people that go out in the parking lot with each other. And so it's a scary thing. So we're real happy to have Tamia. I didn't want to say it wrong. Chaplain Tamia. She is a retired with the Las Vegas Metro Police Department.
Detective.
And so
don't forget the detective
I won't, because
part.
that is, I watch a lot of detective shows, so I know she's impotent. I know that.
Impotent.
So you were feverishly taking notes while we had Gina on the phone. So tell us some things that you thought were important to bring up with that. You were saying that.
There were so many keys in what Gina said, and I want to thank her for calling. She was kind of all over the place with some information, but it was good to have an actual example to go through and talk to folks about. First off, I want to just tell people that it's really important that you educate yourself. I would encourage you, the listeners that are sitting here, if you think that you are the victim of stalking, I would encourage you to Google. Okay, you get on and do your Facebook, you get on and do your Twitter, you get on Google stalking. Okay, you can pull up plenty of resources on stalking. And what I would really like you to look at is how the protectant issues that they have on there, like how to keep yourself safe. And one of the things I wanted to say was, because we were kind of talking about dating and stuff like that, is you have to be really careful what you put out there. We're not all celebrities, so we don't need to have a Twitter list that tells everybody everything we're doing, 24/7, and not expect someone to latch onto you and feel like they have some kind of special relationship with you because you're putting your intimate stuff out there in the web, basically.
Right. Nobody needs to know that Taco Bell sent you to the potty.
Exactly. Yes. That you got the stomach flu or whatever, I mean, and then when you meet somebody out, I want to talk to folks because this online dating thing is the big craze now, So, number one, don't tell someone too much information. Don't tell them where you work at. Don't tell them what church you go to. Don't tell them, because you have to realize they already have your picture. Most people already put their picture up there, right?
Right.
So they already have your picture. You're going to tell them where you work at. You're going to tell them on Facebook if they're your Facebook friends.
And
your friends are.
Usually it's like, what part of town do you live in? So
Yes.
a lot of times, I'm bad at that. A lot of times the cross streets. So if they know your cross streets, they probably know where you go to the grocery store.
Right. Make sure it's really far off. When I say far off, make sure it's like if you live in the Northwest, you say I live at Rainbow and Lake Mead. Because Rainbow and Lake Mead is a nice. If let's say you were going to meet them for coffee or whatever, you go, oh hey, let's meet at the Starbucks right there at Lake Mead in Buffalo.
Right.
Right. And it's nowhere near your house. Yet it's a good meeting place and it's a public place.
Right.
You want to go someplace public when you first meet your online date.
Okay, this is a question I have because, so you go to a bar and you meet somebody. Okay, so the next week you go out with them, and then you end up at their house. Okay, for whatever. What is the difference? We know it's for whatever.
She says for whatever.
I mean, now come on, nice.
Yeah.
Let's be for real. It doesn't take you long to get to that position these days, okay? So what is the difference in that than meeting somebody online who I've chatted with a few months, going to someplace and having dinner, and then ending up at their house? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't know what you got, whether you've met them live or you've met them on the internet. You don't know if you've got some kind of stalker or a serial killer or
Why
whatever.
are you meeting at their house? And then the other part of it is
No, I'm not
ever
meeting
bring
at
them
their house.
to your house.
I never bring them to my house.
Right,
Never. Never. I have children there.
Yeah, they should never know where you live or where your house is.
But whether I meet somebody online and we communicate and go out a few minutes and I go to their house at some point, or if I meet somebody in a bar and it's the same transactions to get there, there's really not a difference. You really don't know what's in somebody's mind.
No, you don't. No.
No, but you have a when you meet someone online, you can at least have their IP address checked and they can be found. At a bar, you can't track their IP address.
Well, if you go home with them, and we know people are adults here, so
Right.
you know people do go home with people that they don't know very well, and
Sometimes they
sadly,
don't make it out of the parking lot.
Thank you. Well, you know that's a little different, you know. But for safety issues, though,
Well, maybe you should
seriously,
stay in the
ladies-
parking lot.
almost, because you really should keep, you know, your personal information and your personal home situation should be something you keep close to you. You shouldn't be sharing that with people, because in this society, in this day and age, and with stalking being so prevalent, you know, you don't want someone coming to your house. Like some of you ladies said, you have children at home, you have, you know, and the last thing you need them to do is to latch onto your children and your family and things such as that. So anyways, just be mindful of that, folks. It's not the 70s, it's not the 80s anymore, where you could kind of sort of trust people. You know, you never know what people are up to. Online dating can be very shady, and I'm sure there's many stories that people can call me and tell me about things that have happened to them there.
Oh yeah.
What I would like, so don't tell too much is my key on that one there. Now, the other thing Gina was kind of talking about with the people that she was involved with, because obviously she was further along in her relationships than just initially meeting them and being online and this kind of thing, okay? So when you get deep into these relationships and then you decide that the relationship is over, just like when I tell people in domestic violence relationships, when you say no, your no is no, okay? Whether it's no to sex, no to being hit, or no to being with this person ever again. Okay, so your no is no, and once you've made that known, then the relationship with that person should stop. Here's the other thing I want to talk to you folks about. When it stops, it should stop. If you keep bringing and letting that person back into your life, they're never going to hear your no.
Mixed signals.
That's correct.
You understand?
Yes. It's like children. You have to be consistent.
Yes. Yes.
No means no. You cannot say hello to them. You cannot say, "Oh, I had a good day." If they text you, it
Right.
means, "Please stop calling me."
Right.
Every time, all the time.
Now, I had one of my exes was really bad for a while, and he would call and email. And I just recently got an email, like less than a month ago, from him. I thought it was long enough. I thought maybe we could talk, and I have never, after like the first year or so, I've never answered him since. And is that something you just don't even answer?
Right.
Don't even to tell him to stop. Just don't even answer.
Yeah, once you've said the stop, because actually you're leading me into the next part of it. Once you've told them to stop, then you cease communication. And every single thing they bring in after that becomes evidence for stalking. Okay? You said to them, "I no longer wish to communicate with you. Stop sending me messages, stop calling my house, stop coming to my work, stop. You know, and this is even if you don't have a TPO. You know, if you have a TPO, it's even better, because every single text message, email they send you, every single one is considered a count or a violation for when the case is put together. So what you are responsible for as the victim, you know, nobody likes that word victim, but when someone begins to stalk you, you become the victim. You need to make your friends aware that you're no longer with this person. Make your bosses know it. Gina talked about her complex knowing about it. They need to, her complex actually did something really cool. Was any private place can trespass somebody. So, because remember they said 86
right.
is called, it's trespass is the actual word, the term that we use here in Nevada. So they can trespass that person, which means that basically trespass law says you have no lawful business here, so you're not welcome here, period.
Okay.
Ever again, period. Okay. So once that person is trespassed, then if they come on, whether there's a TPO in place or not, anyone on that property can call the police and they can be removed. So you don't have to be there, and the manager can send them home, and and that's the same thing for your work. Once they've been trespassed from your work, because we've had a lot of casino incidents where they're stalk the people and they come into the casino. Security is made aware of it, and the minute they drive in the parking lot or walk into the casino, doesn't matter whether the person who's the victim is on property or not. That person goes to jail.
Oh,
because they violated a trespass order.
order.
I used to when I worked at a convenience store, we trespassed people all the time. We had rows of them on the wall.
Is that for shoplifting?
Usually shoplifting, yeah.
Bouncing a bad check, or do you just have the don't accept checks from this?
Yes,
dead
with
sign?
the picture.
Does anybody write checks anymore?
That's a red flag.
Yeah, you have a checkbook. Who does that belong to?
I pay for Starbucks with my phone now.
That's
really bad for you.
I love
That's
it.
bad for
I
you.
just go here and they scan it. I'm like, yes.
The other thing I want to encourage people to do is keep a log. And when I say keep a log, once you have that protective order in place, and let's say, for example, the person is following you or he's making a habit of following you, and bear in mind, folks, you might hear me saying he, and in particular because Gina was the caller that we had and she was talking about a male stalker, yet we know that, and I gave you the statistics, that it can be male or female. But once the stalker...
Oh, because women are crazy.
Crazy.
Everybody has the tendency to be crazy. Male or female. It's not gender specific.
That's true. Everybody has a crazy gene.
Yes, they do. So if this person starts to follow you, what you really need to do is, I say public places, okay? And when I say public places, I mean if this person is following you and you feel uncomfortable, don't drive to your house and hope you can jump out of your car and get inside before they come out and chase you down.
Nope, go to Starbucks.
There's people there, go to Starbucks, but I would more encourage you to go to like a casino. And the reason I would encourage you to casino is there's security there.
Armed guards.
Yes.
There's
a
bank. And they have
and there's video.
Video,
yes. There's security there and there's video. And like most convenience stores have video. So what you do is you go to a populated place that has video, you get out of your car and immediately go to other people. And
then
then
at a casino, you go right up to the valet. You don't even have to be in a parking lot and walk through a parking lot.
But you may not get the valet, though, because if it's busy or whatever, I want you to go where you can latch on to someone who can be your witness and also be there with you.
Gotcha.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You can drive up to manual drop-off, and a maitre d', or not a maitre d', but a concierge or a bellhop will come up.
Yeah, will come
and
out.
all you got to do is say, there's a guy in the car behind me who's stalking me.
Perfect. He'll get on the radio and security will be on the way. And in fact, I'm sure it would.
I think I'll use that when I need to get a parking spot in valet.
Yeah, right. This guy's following me. But yeah, so I understand that you guys' next guest is here, so
we're gonna have you back.
Yes, you will come back. Promise.
Yes.
You'll come back sometime.
You guys kind of scared me.
We're gonna keep you for the next hour. Good for the last hour.
We just let you know that the last guest we had on, we asked him how much booty he'd gotten in the last week. We haven't even got into the nasty questions with you.
Well, let me just tell you.
We're being nice with you.
She said that we scared her, but during one of our breaks, I found out that she knows my dad.
Uh-oh.
And my dad also worked for Metro for many years, and he was her training officer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before we do let you go, tell us the story of how you got the nickname.
Okay, so my nickname is Iceberg. And basically, I was just a little rookie officer. And when I came on the department, I came on in 1989. And a female police officer was a very unique animal at that time. So for the males, it was kind of like, well, how are these women going to do, kind of thing. And they thought that for us as female officers, that when the females came up to us, that we would just like gush with them and cry with them and be all sympathetic with them and all this, right? So I ended up having a car stop where I had to stop a female, and she was pregnant. And she was probably maybe 6 months, but she was showing, And the waterworks began, and oh, you can't take me to jail, and blah, 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 blah. And she had like $50,000 worth of warrants that had like accrued. It wasn't just like one single warrant. It was like 6 different warrants. And what I realized was, because when she was stopped, now here's the guys talking about the women being all sympathetic, but when she was stopped, the guy, listen, just go ahead and take care of that. Take care of that. And so what I said to her, I said is, listen, you obviously haven't taken care of this, right? We're 6 months down the line. You now have $50,000 worth of warrants. I said,
oh my God.
And the jail facility has medical, attention down there for you. So we're going to go ahead and let you take care of those warrants now. So I hooked her up to go to jail for her warrants.
Pretty bracelet.
I hooked her up. Yeah, you hooked her up.
Busted a pregnant woman.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you should have heard her dad. Oh, he was just like, are you serious? He goes, it's like ice runs through your vein. You're like an iceberg. And I was like,
and now you're the iceberg.
I like that.
Tamia, I'll take your pregnant ass to jail down.
And now you'll take care of those warrants.
This is the best part. She's a chaplain.
The iceberg chaplain.
I would take your pregnant ass to jail and pray with you.
Exactly.
Tamia, you've been I knew you would be a fantastic guest.
We're sorry if we scared you. I was just kidding.
Oh, no, she'll be
fun.
back. She'll be back. She's going to put us in our place.
Yeah, you got to come back for Domestic Violence Month, at least.
In October, if I'm in town.
No, we're going to have you back sooner than that. I want you back next week if we can get you. Well, we'll see. I know that you travel a lot, though, so it's going to be around your schedule.
Thank you.
You have another event that you're doing right now.
Thank you. Yes, I am currently doing collecting clothes for the Courageous Women's Clothing Drive, and it is going on International Women's Day, which is March 8th, coming up this Friday. March 8th is International Women's Day, and last March I actually was really blessed to be able to be in Bangladesh. I was in Dhaka, Bangladesh, teaching a domestic violence class, and I was retired doing it. So traveling and doing what you love to do, right?
There you go.
And I got to march in a parade with a lot of other international police women and just women, and it was to increase awareness on violence and to also speak into the lives of young women, right? So this year, since I'm actually in town for the International Women's Day, I was really inspired to do a Courageous Women's Clothing Drive. And the reason I say Courageous Women is, I'm a domestic violence detective, right? I'm retired, yet that's still my heart. I'm still an advocate, and I'm still an educator in that area, in that arena. And I look at when someone makes a decision, and my listeners that are listening out there, when you make that decision to leave an abusive and just violent situation, it takes courage.
Serious.
Yeah.
You're making a huge difference, not only in your life, but the lives of your children if they're involved in watching this. And trust me, if there's children in the house, they're involved and watching it.
They know what's going on.
And it doesn't matter how little you think they are, they know.
Yeah,
right.
They're smarter than you think. Yeah.
Right. So I called it Courageous Women's Clothing Drive, and basically what we're going to do is we have 4 different locations, and we are collecting clothing and toiletries, because you have to realize when people get displaced, they leave with just the clothes on their back. So all sizes, just imagine, we've got teen kids that are going to be there. We've got young kids. We'll need diapers. Everything that you could imagine you don't pick up and grab when you leave a house and have to leave a house. These shelters need, because these shelters take in women and children, and there's also shelters that take in men, get that out there, when they are in the lowest points of their life.
So is there a place that somebody can go on the internet to find out where these drop locations are?
Yeah, if you actually go to International Women's Day, and I'm going to give you the link too so you can put it on your page, but if you actually go to International Women's Day and look up a Las Vegas, Nevada event, you'll see Courageous Women's Clothing Drive.
Nice.
Okay, so you can find it. And we have an event on Facebook too, but basically that link will come from the International Women's Day. I believe it's internationalwomensday.org. And just real quick, the locations are, we got Adapt Insurance. And Adapt Insurance is actually right up the street here at Sahara and Rainbow.
Oh, nice.
It's at 6820 West Sahara, and it's suite number 3. So 6820 West Sahara, that's Sahara and Rainbow. So that's like a central location. It's also at the International Church of Las Vegas Prayer Mountain, which is located up off of Cheyenne, west of 215 there. It's 3425 Cliff Shadows Parkway. And then in Green Valley area, the Nevada School of Massage Therapy, which is located
Warm
at
Springs and Eastern.
Yes, Warm Springs and Eastern.
Really?
I live over that way. It's 2381 East Windmill Lane. You can go by there. And then Nevada House of Prayer for the folks in Henderson. They're at 334 Water Street. 334 Water Street. It's one of the main streets in Henderson. And you can drop off on Friday. Just bring down clothing, bring down toiletries, stop by the 99-cent store, grab what you can, and just bring them in, and then we're just going to go and we're going to bless the shelters and recognize them for housing these courageous women who have made a difference, basically in their lives and in the lives of their children.
If you're not sure what toiletries means, take 1 minute to think about what you need to get ready for the day and end the day for 3 days straight, and that's toiletries.
Exactly.
There you go. Good
Exactly.
job. Right. Thank you again. It's been great to have you.
Thanks
we
for
really
having me.
appreciate it. You're listening to the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on Vegas All Net Radio. We'll be back to talk potty with Brie from Well-Rounded BBW. Potty.
You who don't
Potty.
understand her
Oh, it
accent.
wasn't potty. It was party.
Embrace your endeavors and take it to the limit with Endeavor Media Group. Visit them online at emgnv.com.
Hi, I'm DJ Tim Dope. Come join us every Saturday night at 6 p.m. PDT, 9 p.m. EDT for my new show, Pure Dope Radio, here on Vegas All Net Radio. We'll be having fun addressing the issues with special guests each week. So I'll see you at 6 p.m. PDT, 9 p.m. EDT, Saturday on the show, Pure Dope Radio on Vegas All Net Radio.
Hi, this is Joseph Peroni, author of the book From Grief to Relief. Listen to my show every Thursday at 2 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com. This show is dedicated to those who have loved and lost and have found or are searching for the personal power and courage to love again. Join me, Joseph Peroni, every Thursday at 2 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Heard online all over the world. Listen to the From Grief to Relief radio show every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Attend the annual trade show where all your favorite adult BBW entertainers will be. BBW Fan Fest 2013, July 26th, 27th, and 28th in Las Vegas at the Tuscany. Find BBW Fan Fest on Facebook for more info.
Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com, the final frontier of free speech, motherfuckers, where we get to talk about whatever we want. We just had the fabulous Tamia Dow in to talk about stalking and stalkers and how to recognize a stalker and what to do when you have a stalker. And Alexi had to step out, so Mama got a very quick, questionable lesson on the board.
Push them buttons and pull that thing down. That's what I
Slowly,
got told.
but she didn't do it slowly. But that's all right.
Oh well.
Luckily, this isn't
So we're
an
back.
airplane.
Yeah. We'd be nose diving. Yeah, right now.
We've been all right.
I didn't even know we were back on, so that tells you how
Yeah, we're
lost
back
I am.
on. So we have in studio Brie Brown. Woohoo!
Woo-hoo!
She has been an integral part of the BBW community in Las Vegas for so long no one can remember it
Well,
without
not
her.
only Las Vegas,
all over the world,
back
really.
east.
Well, not the world
here?
so much, but yeah. Since 1991, I've been doing parties, BBW parties.
And where did you start in 91?
In Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Parties in the snow up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no pool parties.
No, actually, there was a pool in the hotel.
Oh,
And
inside? So, like,
yep,
is one of those, like,
after
in a
every
snow
party. My very first party, and pretty much every party I've had, well, not every party, but 90% of my parties I've had a pool party after.
Oh, yes.
So it's my formula.
Okay.
You kind of have to have a pool party. I think BBWs and pools just get along really,
fat
really
girls
well.
float.
That's right.
We do. And you know what? A lot of these girls don't wear their bathing suits anyplace else. But when they come to a BBW party, unfortunately.
I'm trying not to wear them there, but
yeah, I know. We try to encourage them.
them.
Yeah, I tell them just slather the sunblock and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Get out there in your bathing suit.
I think she was meaning the other way around, though. I think she means like not wearing
They're
nothing.
trying to not.
Oh, no, I was talking about the
Phew.
girls that like don't even want to go by the pool
Yeah.
because they don't feel.
Yeah, but anytime I pick a
naked
venue,
ones.
though, I make sure the pool is in a good place. Like people have recommended the Golden Nugget, and I'm like, oh, I love the Nugget, but the pool is like privacy of a goldfish. There
Yeah.
are 2 quarters that
they're
glass
yeah.
walls, and that's what surrounds the pool. And
It
I'm like,
is.
oh, I would never put us through that.
No, and you know what? There's not enough room in that pool for us.
Yeah.
Because I take the kids there all the time to do
it's
shark pool.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
and
beautiful. It's fun for your family.
Right, but there's no privacy.
No.
I mean, we would just be on display, and we
No,
can't
you're
do
right.
that.
That's not a good venue.
Yeah.
But the pool at the plaza is great. It's
Oh,
up
it's
on
completely. It's on the roof. It's just us. You know, there's. You know, I mean, you could peek out their window, but we don't have to see them looking at us.
That and besides, they take one look and go running the other way.
No, I love the families.
to
I hate
us.
to say that. Like they have their kids and they're like kids got their floaties and they're ready for a day at the pool and they walk out and they see all of us out there.
And they're like,
And
oh
we're
my.
all really good. We're like, come on in, and they don't know whether to run or join the party. It's so much fun.
It's like, I promise we won't eat you.
No, you're not lunch.
We had buffet before we came down.
So
And
I
we'll have
know.
it after.
Yeah. Now, last year you ran a 3-day event
Right.
for the first time. So this year you're doing the whole week. So what kind of things are you putting in there to fill the week?
Everything.
I know you have good ideas. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
really
we
good.
have all kinds of events. We're doing everything from all kinds of games. We have really good party theme ideas. We have, in fact, I'll let the cat out of the bag now, and I haven't really discussed it with too many people except for one. The person that's doing it is Cher is bringing Rock Your Curves to.
Awesome! That's great.
that's
We're
fun.
super excited about that.
Oh, that's really good.
yeah, so
She's-
that's a big scoop for you guys.
okay. Scoop it out.
You heard
Wait,
it.
wait, wait. Alexia will Twitter it when she gets back.
It's the first time I've told anybody truly.
No,
so
yeah,
you guys
see?
got the scoop.
You should Twitter it.
Yeah, because
Since
I
you
get
got on, you
scolded for
didn't do
not
any this
Twittering
week.
enough.
You should
Not
just give me your
Twitter.
Twitter username and password. I'll
Yeah,
add
I'd
you
be
to my
afraid
Hootsuite.
what you'd
Do mine
posted my
too.
name on
Do
Twitter.
mine too. I got Hootsuite on
You don't
mine.
know. I wouldn't trust her.
No,
I don't know.
no.
I don't know her well, but I don't think
Nobody
I trust her.
No, she knows me too well. That's the problem. She'd be tweeting some really good stuff.
Juicy,
Honest.
juicy
Yeah,
stuff.
she was saying, "Oh, you can't believe what I just did."
So, what was it? The Plaza's a great location downtown.
I love the plaza.
You
I
know-
think it's great. I love the renovation. They spent $35 million to renovate it.
Wow.
You know,
And
it's a-
cupcakes.
you know, Gigi's cupcakes. I mean, you can't lose.
Right.
But I love that they have a food court. So
Well,
there
I was
are
going to say that's
options.
the big places at a lot of the bashes I've been to is there's just not enough options to where you want to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah,
but
the
and not
cafe,
only
the
that-
buffet, and the Mexican joint.
no,
That's
right.
about all you
Plaza
have.
has a lot.
But the thing I really like though is that you can eat cheaply, you know, and that to
Right.
me that's huge. I mean, you can go and eat at the Hash House a Go-Go, which is great food in huge portions.
Huge, yeah.
But you can eat at Subway and you can eat at McDonald's 24/7 and the pizza
Zabas.
place,
They got
like
Zabas in there
and
now.
Zabas and the Mexican and I mean there's what's it what's it called across the street? Dupars.
Dupars, yeah.
It's supposed to have the best pancakes in the world.
Well, and what I
disagree
think about
about
it, when a lot of the other places that we've had bashes and parties, they're kind of off the strip. Or if somebody wanted to go on the strip, it's like a big effort.
It's you
it's
have to
a
really
deal. Yeah, you
make
got
a plan for it.
right. You got to get a taxi. This you walk right out the front door of the plaza, and you are
right in-
downtown.
You're in it. You walk out the door, you're in it.
And on the weekends down there, they've usually got bands going on and street performers.
Well, the
and-
cool thing too is that downtown they have a couple of things. They have Vegas Streets on Saturdays, and not every Saturday. It's the second Saturday, I think it is. But then they have First Fridays, and we're there the first Friday.
First Friday is
and our party
great.
doesn't start until 10, so you can take in First Friday and then still do all the well-rounded
Yeah,
stuff.
see, that's great. And they got, if nobody's ever been downtown Vegas, you got the Dome. They have a light show every hour. So I think the location is great.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think
good.
it's just a win-win for everybody.
And are they going to try
room
to
rates are so cheap?
And are they going to try to put everybody in that same section like they did last year? Because that was nice.
What's going to happen though is we're going to overflow it. We have sold out 4 room blocks already.
That is awesome.
So we've sold out 4 times as many as I thought we would originally.
Oh wow!
So the numbers are just huge. I mean, we're looking at probably. And I'm always conservative because I never like to oversell.
How many rooms have you sold already?
I don't.
Rooms doesn't indicate people because people double, triple, and quadruple. You get 4 girls to a room.
Right now, with what I'm projecting, and I'm very conservative. Like I said, I don't like to oversell an event and then have people disappointed. So conservatively, I would say we'd have 500 to 600 people.
That's great.
We can accommodate 800. So.
What?
After 800, sorry, you have to go away. But, really, I mean, I don't think we'll have 8, but
you could. It's still early. It's only March.
And we're well into the 300s that are actually already paid and registered. I don't count people until they're they paid their money. They don't count. If you say you're coming, that doesn't count. If you click that you're going, that doesn't count.
Right.
But if you pay your money and you book your room, I'm thinking you're coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty good guess.
It's the old line, money on the wood, make the bet go good. It's like once you paid your money, I'm pretty much betting you were there.
Yeah. Now, talk a little bit about, because I think it's a great idea. You guys, you're working with Desiree and Platinum from FanFest.
Right.
And if somebody buys a FanFest ticket, they can get a or something.
Yeah, I'm doing something with FanFest because I like working with everybody in the community, and there's all different types of events in the community, and everyone is different. Everybody brings their own flavor.
It's true.
And so I mean, I love Desiree and Carrie, and
we do too around here.
Yeah.
In fact, they're supposed to call in at 8:30 and they missed their mark. I sent them texts and haven't got anything, so they must be busy.
Sleep.
Go figure. Go figure.
Platinum is not here right now.
That's right, because Desiree was asking for a babysitter online. So, but I think it's good you're working with them. So tell people how they can do both events.
So they can, if they sign up with FanFest, I've actually worked out something with FanFest where they are getting 2 free days with their registration. So if they sign up and register with FanFest, they actually get 2 days.
So people, you can come to Vegas on Friday, stay all the way through the week and through the next weekend, and leave on Monday morning, and it's nothing but BBWs.
Right. And then there's just stuff going on all the time. I mean, there's all kinds. I think Vegas is becoming the BBW mecca.
Oh, I think it's like the hub.
Motherland.
Yeah, I mean, even Stu decided to put a party here, and it went really well in the winter.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, everything is accessible, no matter what. I mean, there's a few places that aren't all that accessible, but especially if you go to the locals places or downtown, where I mean, everything's accessible for everyone.
Right.
And that's what makes Vegas fun. It's not like going to LA or someplace like that where you kind of have to be able to walk places.
Not only that, we can go until 4 a.m. It's
there's
it never closes.
We were just in LA over the weekend, and it's like, oh, I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh, they're closed.
Oh,
what do you mean they're closed?
I can remember the first time.
They're closed.
The first time I went out to LA for a BBW party, and the party got done like
2 or something.
It's like 1:30, and then I went, okay, now what?
I didn't get here till midnight.
Yeah, and then we couldn't find any place to eat. At that hour, I went to there was a hookah lounge next door. I'm like, is there any after party anywhere? Oh no, we don't have clubs like that here, which surprises me out of the LA area.
Like, this is the big city.
Yeah, go ass home.
And that's what people when they go to like the bashes or Well-Rounded, like the party don't get started till midnight, so no one's ready to go to bed at 1 o'clock.
One of the reasons I didn't even start the parties until 10 p.m.
I think that's a great idea
because nobody comes.
No.
And to me, a party, I mean, unless you're going to a wedding or a work function, your Christmas party, a party that you're not going before 10.
Well, and everybody's they do the day activities, or they spend the day at the pool. So then you have dinner,
and
then you go back, take a little nap, and then you got to get dressed for the night party. Yeah, start pre-drinking,
right? Well, and that's why I do the pool parties after too, because you don't, you're done for the night. Now you can get in your swimsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have to get all pretty after you've been swimming.
So is there a pool party every night?
Every night.
And is it a wristband event only pool party?
Private, just for us. Yeah.
And it's a great. The
Till
pool
4
there.
a.m. every night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Get to watch.
Did you get him to turn up the heat on that pool?
You know what? The thing last year, it killed us because it was only like 79 at night. And when do you see that in Vegas?
That's true.
In July.
It was a cooler July
that's
than normal.
crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it was warm during the day, it just didn't suddenly get colder at night. I mean, the air was cold. That's what made it so
And it
cold.
was windy.
Yeah,
I
there was a
remember it
little
was
breeze
windy.
up
So,
there.
you know, we had those terrible, like the rains, we got rained out the first night. So, I mean, you can't control the weather. I mean,
No.
No.
Well,
if
it's
I could, I
monsoon-
would.
It's
I'm a-
monsoon season in
yeah, I'm a
Vegas.
voracious planner. If I could control the weather, I could fix that. Believe me, I'd have it penciled in.
95 every day. It would never go below 80 at night, and the pool would stay at an even 83.
Yeah.
No, see, I actually like my pool a little warmer.
I like it. Yeah, I like it warm.
Me too. I'm good with 90 in a
You're
regular
all-
pool. I'm good with. The
Yeah,
joints don't
I
like
like
it
bath water if
cold.
you want, but I like it warm.
Yeah, exactly.
So the pool, I'm expecting it to be warm at night. I mean,
Yeah, if it's warm
I don't
during the
have
day,
any
then-
reason to believe that it wouldn't. It's a little bit later in the year. The pool, the water should actually even be warmer. So
Yeah. The only thing I was bummed about is there's no hot tub, at least not that I
I know,
saw.
I hate that. I wish there were.
I love
Yeah.
the hot
When I
tub.
first went to look at the property, I saw those big kind of things that turned out later to be day beds.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought, oh, is there a hot tub hiding into there? And I'm like,
No,
oh,
they're
what's
just
that? And they're
places
like,
for
oh,
people
day
to get
beds.
weird.
And I went, oh. She said, oh. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay, so vendor fair. You having a vendor fair this year?
Yes, we're
Okay.
having a vendor fair.
All the regulars.
Yeah, I've
everything's
had a
signed
lot
up?
of people
A lot of
contact me
people
already. I
coming?
haven't opened up vending yet.
Okay.
Only because I'm still trying to work with the plaza. The plaza, I don't know if they're high, drunk, what their problem is, but they're thinking that for some reason, when you say vendor, they think pharmaceutical company deep pockets.
Yeah, that's what they're
They're
using.
trying to charge me ridiculous
And you know what's
rates.
crazy is where your party was last year, like that whole hallway down
Mm-hmm.
there were empty banquet rooms.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
would think they'd want to get whatever
This
they could
year,
if they're empty.
we have all the all
those
the
banquet rooms?
entire
Upstairs?
ballroom space. We
Oh.
have every inch of their ballroom.
That is
Wow.
great.
Yeah, so we have
because the
whole
lobby
thing.
area up there is
We're
great
going to
too.
need it. You know, our numbers are such that we'll need that.
That is great.
Well, I did a thing that had a little vendor fair in it not too long ago, last year actually, about this time. And one of the biggest things I found the cost was just in dividing the booths up into the booths. So I think it would have been
Did you use
cheaper.
pipe and drape? Is
We
that?
did use pipe
oh,
and
see,
drape.
$17 a foot.
Yeah,
She's got it all in her.
$17 a linear foot. Do the math.
I
That's
always
crazy.
vowed next time I'm going to use
you use
a
painter's
chalk
tape.
line.
I
Yeah,
would say
and
for a
painter's
vendor
tape on the
fair, you
floor.
don't really
Yeah.
need pipe and drape for a vendor
No,
fair.
you
Something like
don't.
Fan Fest, they needed it
Yeah.
for the little
booths,
whopper.
yeah.
I'd argue $17 a linear
Yeah, that's
foot.
a lot.
I'm still putting up an argument.
Yeah. No, I don't think you.
Yeah.
Most of the vendors create their own
Right.
space.
I mean, with
The
BW
tables,
Network, we did that thing with the tape on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like you cross it. We had vendors move the tape, and I'm like, oh, come on, I'm like, I'm not stupid. I know you moved that tape, and I'm like, and don't do it again. I'm moving it back, or I'll kick you out.
Right, right.
Yeah. I'm like, that one's 10 feet, but this one's only 6 feet. That looks like 14.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
They get sneaky.
give them an inch. They'll
Yeah.
take
They'll keep taking another inch and another inch and a
4
foot.
feet.
And bingo, you're having bingo during the day, right?
Yes, bingo every day at 3:00.
That's so much
And
fun.
is that going to be down in the?
That's
the
in their
back?
bingo room,
In their
with
bingo
the
room?
plaza. So yeah, at 3:00.
That
I figured
sounds
it was a
like
good time. I thought.
Is that just for the well-rounded group, or is it
No,
for? It's
we'll
an
have
open
like our
bingo?
own little section, though.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
reserve a section just for us.
Do you have to bring your own?
Because we're
ink blotter?
chatty, they like to put us
We're
in a
chatty,
quarter.
go figure.
Nobody's paying attention. Somebody's got a bingo, but they haven't crossed off half their stuff.
That's why they
That's
stick
why
us
I
in the
use the
corner, hoping we'll
machines.
forget. Oh, it's that little like.
I like using the machines because I'm
Then you
like,
don't miss
I have a big
nothing.
mouth, so I can't talk and dab and daub.
I don't know. I've been
yeah.
to bingo lately, and some of those people are like, if you talk, they're looking at you like
Oh,
they
yeah.
want to kill you.
Well, that's why they
and
put
they
the
have all the
well-rounded
little
people.
troll dolls
Yeah.
and their
They're
stuff
troll
sticking out, and
dolls.
No,
Just
we
water.
have fun names for. I shouldn't tell you. We call them bingo bitches.
Yeah, they do this.
You're safe here.
Yeah, the bingo bitches look at you like if looks could kill, you'd be bleeding.
Yeah, don't sit there.
Yeah.
So, well, who's gonna sit there? Nobody, but you're not sitting there either.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't been to bingo in a really long time,
yeah.
so like I don't even.
I
went on bingo for a date once.
When Well-Rounded gets here,
'cause you're old.
everybody that is at the event goes to bingo, and then
But 3 o'clock is either pool time or nap time, or
But the event doesn't start till 10, so you have plenty of time for an hour.
or a sex marathon.
Or it's a sex marathon.
Yeah, after
Well, that's more fun than bingo, so go for it.
You're a dirty, dirty whore.
I am a dirty whore, but leave me alone.
Make your own bingo. Sex position for every letter.
Bingo! I'm sure to win. I'm sure to win. I don't have to worry about it.
What's B69? I want to be there for 69.
I don't think B goes to 69.
Whatever.
No, big only goes.
It doesn't her game. Don't argue.
Right. Doesn't it go to 70?
Yeah.
So it's 69.
Oh, 69.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Now I came in late, so did you guys talk about some of the other your classes? Did you?
missed.
We haven't talked the class. We haven't talked about the classes. We're talking about the pool parties and the events.
You missed our exclusive scoop.
We got exclusive scoop.
We'll give out the scoop again.
First,
you have to go back and watch the podcast.
No, I'm
sorry. If you were late, I'm sorry, you just missed it.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody else. Sharu with Rock Your Curves will be at Well-Rounded.
That's awesome.
Tweet that, bitch, because I don't tweet.
She doesn't have a computer and she can't tweet from her dinosaur phone.
This is her trying to get back for.
I know, for you guys calling me
old.
Blanche and old and.
So you don't have a smartphone? Do you have a stupid
No,
phone?
I have a stupid phone.
No, she's a crackberry that doesn't really work like it's
No,
supposed
you know
to.
what? I can text on my
BlackBerry.
phone.
Oh, that has buttons. Isn't that cute?
Yes, it's cute.
I love you.
Wow, look at that. It has buttons.
And it has my grandson's picture. That's important.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
all
that's
I
very
need
sweet.
all I need to do is text and get on Facebook, and I can do that. So
With
that's all
your
I need to
buttons
do.
on your phone.
All right, be quiet. Brie.
Oh,
you know what it is? I'm going to tell you
I think I
what
saw that once in a museum. That's really, yeah.
Oh, she's bad. And this one I just bought a few. You know what it is? I have I don't like to turn on the electronic learning part of my brain. Okay, I mean I can learn it. I just don't want to turn it on. Okay, give me a piece of fabric. I'll whip you up a cell phone. Okay, with a piece of fabric.
Oh wow.
But I just don't want to learn one of these. I just don't.
So if you whipped one up, would it have a touch screen? It would have buttons.
I don't need
No,
it.
if you're sewing, it would have
It
buttons.
wouldn't.
That's right. I can work that.
There isn't much of a learning curve. My mother, and you have met my mother, can use an iPhone. If my mother can use an iPhone,
iPhones are so intuitive.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
use one in your sleep.
I just learned something with mine the other
Well,
day.
my mom doesn't.
She will read me.
My
text
mom doesn't even.
messages.
realize
All
that the
right. You know
computer doesn't
what?
work
You know
anymore.
what? My next stripper money, I'll buy a phone.
Yay!
We'll
And last night's stripper money don't count.
we'll record it and we'll make it a field trip and we'll record it.
Oh, are you going to buy me a phone? Oh, you guys will have me buying something all crazy.
So I want to hear about some of the classes that you're going to have, because I know that you had. I witnessed. We were setting up to do a remote from last year, and I was watching from the cracked door Rosie Mercado doing her smoky eyes.
Oh,
Smoky
she was
eyes.
really good.
She
That was very
Yeah.
popular. We had
I
about
wanna
50
go
people
to
in that
that.
workshop.
Yeah.
That was really great. I'm hoping she comes back this year. We don't know. She has a really busy schedule. I mean, she's like very, very popular.
She's been saying she's
We've been
coming on the
trying.
show.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
trying to get her
She's
on the show.
committed to here. It's just getting her down to a date.
Yeah. Yeah, catching her in town is another story.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we'll get Rosie back or not. I'm hopeful. Because we take people from our community, and I think it's really important to have people that are actually from our community teaching us things that they know. There's travel schedules involved, there's, babysitters and everything else. So actually pinning them down this far out is really difficult. I have a good idea of things I would like to have, but I don't, until I have them in stone, I don't mention them. But I mean, we'll have a lot of similar things that we had before, but yet I'm planning to make Well-Rounded every year something different. It's not going to be like kind of like when you come back to Vegas, you know how it changes a little bit, but yet some of the things really stay the same. We'll keep the things that are popular, but we'll keep rotating things through so that it won't be the same event that you come to every single year.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's good.
But some of the things that were really popular last year that we're definitely bringing back will be George will be teaching some kind of line dancing, probably the wobble is what everybody is going to tell me.
Hell, we could teach that.
We could teach a wobble.
And face it, fat girls really wobble well.
We do.
We do.
We jiggle when we wobble.
Yeah, instead of wiggle or struggle, But, and speaking of struggle, we teach at all different levels. So, I mean, if you want to chair dance, you can chair dance. And you don't, some people go, oh, yeah, you always say that, but I'd feel silly. And I'm like, no, really don't. Because truly there are people sitting there on the sidelines just kind of chair dancing. And even if you don't want to learn to dance and you just think, oh, that'd be really fun to go and watch, you can come and watch. That's cool too.
And I told somebody a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about the events and stuff, and I said, that is the one place you can be totally comfortable because nobody cares. If you're on the dance floor in your scooter or your wheelchair, who cares?
Right.
Nobody.
And if somebody's judging you, you know what? They're the wrong ones.
That's right.
They truly are.
That's right.
And the ones that and I would love to be able to say that you'll never be judged at a Well-Rounded event, but the fact of the matter is that everybody's at a different place in their own self-acceptance. And so when you don't accept yourself, how can you accept other people?
Right. Yeah. That's
so, if you ever run into that, it's really kind of an opportunity to educate somebody and hope that they kind of see their way. But if something were like really horribly blatant and that, somebody were downright mean, I mean, I'd take matters into my own hands with that. I mean, we don't tolerate that. But really, I always think that they're just not there yet. And, there are people that are very vocal and you'll see them on Facebook and, they'll say, I can't believe she wore that. And I'm like, you know what? You're just not there. You don't know how great that is to wear that.
Right. It's so,
you're not there yet.
So liberating to
when you get there, you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe I thought those things.
It is rather liberating to walk around in tiny little shirts and everyone goes, do you even have panties on today?
Well, I'll tell you who has a great story about that.
Answers
Is
no.
Freaky always talks about how her first bash, she didn't even bring a bathing suit, and then she borrowed somebody's, and how she got to the point that now she's wearing a bikini to the pool. But she's a great story how she had to get there.
Right.
It took herself a while to get to the point that she felt comfortable wearing the little
Sarah was the same way. It didn't even take her a while. It took her the next summer.
Yeah, the next bash.
Yeah.
First bash, I was wearing this one-piece, really dowdy-looking thing. Second bash, I had this one make up 2 bikinis for me. I mean, there was just
it's too damn hot to wear a one-piece bathing suit in Las Vegas.
And now I go to
they're not comfortable.
And now I go to every public pool.
Oh, me too. I've been down to the shark pool and I love this. George, look.
Yeah, look at that fat girl in a bikini.
Yeah, especially where like the green and black leopard zebra print. It's
you know what I can't wait for is that Wet and Wild. We're gonna have 2 water parks. Can you believe that?
When is Wet and Wild opening?
They're both supposed to open Memorial Day weekend.
Get out.
Both. But the one in Henderson is kind of just pushed around dirt. The other one over in Charleston and whatever the address
pushed
is.
around dirt. There's a lot of that.
It looks like.
There's a lot of that
near where I live. But I mean, literally, they have like stakes in the ground and they pushed around some dirt. Is all they've done.
So maybe in the future we have a bus that picks everybody
you
up.
can see like colored slides actually are already arriving.
Over on Charleston?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see stuff like fixtures coming in. The other one, like I said, pushed around dirt. But they're both supposed to open the same day.
So like we could just have a bus come pick us all up and take us all, about 200 of us, over to Wet and Wild.
I think we scare the skinny.
Oh, I would love it. I would be so
clogged like our arteries.
You know what? I think the news should be there because that would be the greatest.
Fat Girls Gone Wild.
It'd be Fat and Wild. That's what it would be. Hell yeah, let's do that.
Fat and Wild, yeah.
Fat and Wild Day at Well-Rounded. Fat and Wild Day.
That'd be awesome.
I'm there. I am there.
I think we should get a day too where they like reinforce that zip line and let us all go down it too.
Oh, the one on the
dying to go down that zip line.
No way.
You have to be 240 pounds.
I know.
What's up with that? I mean, there are a lot of guys that can't do that.
My nephew
less
came to
than that.
town. And my nephew's 11 years old, and he begged us to take him down there, and he did that zip line. That's scary.
I
the sister wives did the zip line.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, I want to.
I wouldn't jump out of a perfectly good airplane. I'm not jumping off a building unless it's burning, and I'm not zipping down a line that may snap while my fat ass is in the middle of it. So
it's not that far down. And you're gonna it's always crowded. You're gonna land on like SpongeBob or something anyway.
That's awesome.
It is kind of cool, but I don't have the guts for it.
Oh, I so do.
No, because that thing would run up my ass. It would be like freaking dental floss in my ass.
Man, I need to start.
What are you talking about? That harness they put you in.
It's not butt floss. It's not like the Borat bathing suit. It's these things that you put through your legs through.
I don't know. It still scares me.
Yeah.
Some of you look like, oh my God, look! It's a blimp!
It's a whale! It's a blimp! It's Sweet Cheeks!
Maybe that's why they have the 240-pound weight limit, you know? It's like they're afraid of who's coming over you,
just hook me up to 2 of them at one time, and we're good.
Would that be a 480-pound weight limit?
Yeah, we're
should be able to
good.
do
I
that,
can
right?
get on that. I don't weigh that much. That's it. We just hook 2 together.
Fatties on a zip line would be so much fun.
Fatties on a zip line.
To watch.
Yeah, to watch.
I do it. They put me up to 2, and they were taking lots of pictures because it'd have to be like put down in history.
My son said for his birthday he wanted to go on that, and he's like, "Mom, you go with me?" I was like,
"Hell no."
You ask
I'll
Daddy.
take a lot of pictures.
Ask Daddy.
I ain't going. Mommy ain't doing no shit like that.
Oh, I would do it.
No,
It's too
you
high.
got guts.
It's too high. I don't mind about the thing and the flossing thing and all that stuff, and it's just way up there, and I have an issue with that.
I think the worst part is that they weigh you before you get on, you know? I mean,
in front of everyone.
If I'm going to get weighed for anything, we're going to Heart Attack Grill. Let's go. Free meal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that, the Heart Attack Grill.
Doesn't make a noise.
Like, they put the Johnny on you, and, if they would just give you the damn free burger, you could take it with you, but no, they put you on display with it.
See, I don't care. Put me on display. My fat makes me money. I can live with it.
I'll be able to eat like that by then. We should totally do it.
Yeah.
That should be when I do Heart Attack.
Wait. Do we need to bulk you up before then so you get free meal?
They're going to put, like, rolls of coins in their pocket.
What is the weight limit to get a free meal there?
$3.50.
$3.50. You gonna have to eat some extra meatballs?
I'm on the border. I'm sure I can make
I'm
it
with you,
that way
Brie.
that
I do
day.
the zip line. I like to do all that kind of
zip
stuff.
line.
It breaks the stereotype.
Do you guys remember when they used to have the bungee jump on the strip? We used to go.
That I wouldn't do.
Oh, we used to go take the kids and like we'd give them ice cream and then they'd sit there and watch these people going. I mean, it was literally a pole, and people would jump off of it and hang upside down. It was like right next door. It was right next door to Circus.
No.
Yeah. Not gonna do it.
Yeah, and we just sit and watch them jump.
It's like a big
rubber
band. And
it is like a big rubber band. Well, there was this thing. They had these MIT kids, these really smart kids, and they were bungee jumping off their school, and they did it mathematically, and they didn't mathematically put in that there was no 13th floor. So anyway, back to Well-Rounded. No bungee jumping at Well-Rounded.
Yeah, I used to live near MIT, and they always did like these practical joke things. That one time I drove by, and there was a police car on top of the dome. It was crazy.
Whoa. Never, nerds
I used
should
to
not
drive
be
by
allowed
there
to go
every
to
day.
school together
Yeah.
because they come up with the craziest
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. My nerdy boyfriend has so many shit stories from fucking college with what they did.
You know what? It's only crazy if it doesn't work, though.
No, but they worked and they're still fucking crazy.
But if it works, it's not crazy.
They're crazy.
That's my theory. If it works, it's not crazy.
I like that theory.
So, will you be doing like the grand gala on Saturday night with dinner
We're
and
doing
everything?
something kind of cool. We're doing, how everybody loves celebrating their birthday at the bash?
Yeah.
It's like everybody, it's like, oh, it's my birthday. Great. We're celebrating so-and-so's birthday. This year, it's everybody's birthday. Saturday night, we're doing one massive birthday party.
How fun!
Is there gonna be cupcakes?
And we are going to have a cake, not only just a cake, but have you ever seen like the cakes that they do like on Cake Boss or Charm City Cakes? We're having the Cakerazzi. We're having Sonny Robinson, and he's been a judge on Cake Wars, Cupcake Wars.
Okay.
He's been on the Food Channel. He is creating a cake for us. They're one of our sponsors. They are
BBW cake.
We are doing, I have to meet with them and I can design a cake. And I'm going to, with his help, design a cake to like some kind of a big cake
Do
sculpture.
you have like ideas? Like, is it going to be a big?
My idea right now is that I would love to use you know how the banner that I have
love
with
the banner.
pool,
Yes.
with the fat girl
With
jumping in.
Yeah.
I want a cake that looks like
that would be
fat
great.
girl and
Just a
jumping in the pool.
Just a suggestion, but
Yeah.
our logo is kind of cute too. Just saying.
Well, you know, you can contact the Cakerazzi and maybe
We'll have one little cupcake in the side.
yeah, we'll have like these little pink ladies on there, you know, from
Yeah, for representation. Or just give her a pink swimsuit. We'll take that.
You're listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on Vegas All Net Radio. We'll be right back.
This guy's out of control. Who authorized this type of music?
He's live and unabashed, playing classic shit.
Don't you say it!
The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Listen to The Kevin Jackson Show, 4 to 7 p.m. every Wednesday on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Hey, this is Munch from the Geek Lounge. In case you haven't heard, the Geek Lounge is the one-stop shop for talks about all things anime, comics, manga, video games, movies, and everything geekdom. Tune in every Sunday at 4 on VegasAllNetRadio.com and geek out with us. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at the Geek Lounge and on Twitter, Geek_Lounge. Geeks, be thou for the people.
Stay up to date with your favorite BBW girls on Twitter. Go to bbwgirltweet.com to find all your favorite adult BBW entertainers. Get connected to your audience with Endeavor Media Group. Find them online at emgnv.com.
Embrace your endeavors and take it to the limit with Endeavor Media Group. Visit them online at emgnv.com.
If you're looking to further your acting, modeling, or athletic career, contact Endeavor Media Group at emgnv.com.
Endeavor Media Group is a sports and entertainment PR firm connecting its clients with audiences everywhere through movies, television, radio, publications, websites, mobile applications, and special events. Visit emgnv.com.
EMG represents clients of all sizes and in a variety of industries. The firm works with companies, organizations, famous individuals, and political groups to advance their interests, manage communication-related matters, promote products and services, handle issues, and mitigate specific problems. Visit Endeavor Media Group online at emgnv.com.
She got me in this room thinking I feel like shit. Now I'm barely breathing. I know I fucked up. Got caught cheating. It's all my fault. Now I'm hardly speaking. What can I do? What can I do to try to save the day? What can I say? What can I say to take the pain away? Don't know why I'm trying.
Welcome back.
There ain't no words.
Welcome back.
I remember now.
Welcome back.
Mama's stuck. Somebody kick her.
She's skipping.
Oh, you're listening
She's
to
buffering.
Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. Bitches.
You're buffering. And we're here
Push
with
one of Denise's
Brie.
buttons. That will
Brie.
fix it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, here, push my buttons.
She doesn't have any. No. Even her new truck doesn't have buttons.
Anyway, so we're here with Brie, and we're talking about the Well-Rounded event that's coming up at the end of July, beginning of August. A whole week this time.
Yay.
Yay.
And Saturday night is going to be a huge birthday party with the fabulously designed cake
Fat girl
from
cake.
Cakerazzi.
Right.
All right,
It's gonna
so
be
Monday
really cool.
night, something special's Monday night, right?
Monday night is a bonus night. It's an extra night. It's not part of the event, but you know, I'm like, oh, let's go a whole week. I was insane at the moment when I planned it. You know, I'm like, oh, we're doing 60. No, let's do a week. So, you know, for anybody that registered during the early bird, that it was covered in their early bird registration. Otherwise, you can come if you do just the Monday night party. It's $50, and that covers the party and the pool after, so it goes right up until 4 a.m. Or if you come for, you know, if you have a regular registration, it's $40. If you're coming for just that, it's $50. But locals, we'll still keep it at 40. And, so I think that we'll get, a fair amount of people that come out just for that.
Most people
as well
come
as
up.
there will be people from FanFest and everything else that will be kind
There's
of
still a
carry
bleed over,
so,
yeah.
Right. So, we'll have a really good turnout for that.
So you will be having rates for locals, or just for like somebody's coming in and just wants to go to the Friday? Like I know some people that just want to do Friday party. Are you going to be doing something?
Because
like
of the price structure with the plaza, and to throw an event of that size, there's so many things that are encompassed in throwing an event that it just becomes impossible to do it single day. And if you
gotcha.
do, it's a stupid price, and people are like, I'm not paying.
Right, they think it's too much,
Yeah,
right.
that much for one night.
Right.
So, and then people always think, well, if it's $40 for that night, so it's $40 for every night. And I'm like, well, if you buy a 6-pack of Coke, it's not cheaper by the can than it is for the 6-pack.
Right, just buy the weekly price. Right.
So, I wish I could, but it's not how it works. I mean,
Right.
it's the fee structure for what they're charging me to put on the event. I just can't do it. I mean, if I could, I would. I mean, last year I got an incredible deal at the plaza. They had a last minute cancellation. They were grateful just to fill rooms. The fact that they could sell drinks at their bar and everything else, they gave me a great price. So I had a lot more leeway. This year, planning a year in advance, they want their full fee structure. So
Right.
I'm stuck with that. But
It should
no,
be
you do as much
sustainable.
as you can. You
Yeah.
know?
Shouldn't it be some kind of, hey, I helped you out last year, and
and that did help, because that actually talked them down from like insane,
Oh, okay.
tens of thousands prices to a little more.
And do they use the?
less
I
tens of
mean,
thousands.
I know a little bit about what goes into a venue. Like you got to go to make sure the chairs are right, and there's
Right.
rooms around the slot machines for the scooters and
yeah.
stuff. So do they know that it's not easy for you to find a venue when you're talking to them? Or
I tell them what my criteria is, and so they know certain things
They
are deal
get it.
breakers.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to spell it out, because if they're not fat, they just don't understand.
Right.
They don't get it. And for instance, when the pool was originally built, it only had ladders. It was built in the 70s, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad that changed.
Yeah, me too.
Because I couldn't use this property, and they're like, well, what do you mean? Everybody just climbs out the ladder, because the ladders are still there.
You
And I'm
don't
like,
understand.
whoa,
When you got 300 pounds of ass you're trying to pull up by your arms, that doesn't work.
Yeah. So now it has that. I call it aftermarket. I don't know what else to call it. But that staircase that they put in, and the stairs are, I don't know, this far apart. Like
5 feet.
more than like as far as your arms, so you can use both arms to pull yourself up the stairs.
Yeah.
Which I think is so much better than the regular staircase, which just has one, and it kind of makes it awkward. It's like, okay, which leg do I start with? And this has
Right.
2 railings. You can hold 2 railings. It's no giant steps. It's really, I love it. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
good.
even better.
Yeah.
So things like that. Yeah. I mean, they also have some of their toilets are wall mounted. So they have to put like a block of wood under the toilet so that
The extra weight. Yeah.
I mean, and those are all done really so that no girl is ever embarrassed.
And there has to be advantages to holding an event at the same location.
Right, because they know you. They
get to know what
your
they need
needs
to do.
are.
Yeah.
They know your group.
So hopefully maybe the plaza's your home for a little while.
Yeah, I really like it there.
Yeah.
So, I would like to stay there.
I love that it's a downtown venue and there's so many things right there.
Yes, right outside the door.
I stayed there last year for a couple days, and it was just so convenient. And like I said, the restaurant, and I did the trifecta last year. So I went from that hotel to
Right.
that hotel to that hotel. So the difference in the 3 were thrown at you. And I remember being over at the Gold Coast, and you had very few options. Like you had one option at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. You had no options for meals. So then I got over to the plaza, and there was like all these options, and a nice little coffee shop with just a coffee thing to get a coffee and a Danish in the lobby. And
What's cool about that coffee shop too is they only charge $1 for a bottle of water. And I think that's great that they're not gouging people,
Yeah.
because most places charge more than that in Vegas.
$4.
So out of the 3 locations last year, like I said, I did them back to back. The plaza I'm like, why did nobody ever do this before? Because it's very roomy, and the staff was so happy that we were there. I think
Yeah.
they acted so pleasant that it's great.
They seemed a little overwhelmed at check-in though. There's like
yeah, you know what?
200 fatties
believe me,
in
that was a
line.
big meeting after.
Yeah.
So hopefully that there's growing pains. I mean,
Yeah.
you work out the bugs, and hopefully that you get past some of those things. So
Yeah, you always do.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. There was something else I wanted to bring up, and I keep forgetting. Oh, the Sunday. The Sunday's going to be really cool this year. Something I've wanted to do for so long.
First Sunday or last Sunday?
No, the last Sunday.
Okay.
Is going to be a farewell breakfast. And it's
Nice.
not just a breakfast where you just go, it's like, oh, go to this room and eat. There's going to be live music. There's all kinds of things going on. There's, the DJ set up.
My question is, what time is this breakfast?
At 11.
Oh, good. That's better.
It's a brunch.
No, I would not haul your butt out of bed.
Because I don't usually get to bed till about 5 or 6 a.m.
No, but not only that, my thought was I always hated that, like, on Saturday night, you're saying goodbye to everybody. They're drunk off their ass. They already left. It's like, oh, did you see someone? Oh, no, they left about an hour ago. And, you don't remember. You didn't get to say your goodbyes. You didn't exchange phone numbers. I just think it's a really nice send-off to be able to go and see everybody. You don't have to dress for it. You can wear whatever your traveling clothes are and just go. You can dance. You can have fun. You eat a good meal before you hit the road, whether you're going across town or across the country or to another, continent for that matter.
That's a great idea.
So I just love the fact that we can just have like one last time where we're together, and I love the idea. I've wanted to do it for a really long time, and I know it's hard for East Coasters to do because they have to catch planes a lot of times early, but I think that there's a lot of notice, and if they miss it, they'll be sorry. So I think
They'll hear
that,
about it on
plan your
Facebook.
schedules, because I think it's going to be so fun. I've wanted to do this for a long, long time.
It does sound like
Well, what usually ends up happening that last day anyway is people are just kind of congregated in the lobby waiting for their cabs or checking out. So to have a place to kind of
Right.
congregate and see everybody.
And,
that's a
and
better-
we'll start the food will start at 11 or something like that. I have to pin it down more, but so something like 11 to 2, 3, something like that.
That's great.
So the dance floor will be open. You can dance. You can exchange numbers. You can actually be sober when you say goodbye. Maybe
Hungover.
or hungover or, but it's your last chance to actually see people. So I mean, I like the idea.
Good
I
idea.
hope it really goes over well.
Good. I was just going to ask about the schedule. So, will you be having classes going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the vendor fair Friday, Saturday? How's
Friday, Saturday for the vendors. Tuesday we'll do the registration during the day, so we won't do probably workshops during the day. Although sometimes great opportunities come along and you have to squeeze some in, so
Right.
I'll never say never,
Right.
but that's the plan right now. But I think it's really good when people come Tuesday afternoon and get registered, and it saves huge lines later on. But this year I have a lot more help with registration. Last year it was seat of your
Well, that was
pants.
whirlwind. I mean, that
it
happened
was
so fast last
crazy.
year.
I mean,
yeah.
I announced that there was an event before I had a website, a domain. It was like, a way to register
Well, the
a
timing
room
was
block.
great.
Yeah.
The timing was great with the big trifecta last summer. Yeah.
So I mean, it was, it was crazy, but it all worked. But really, I loved it because it was like the event that everybody built, because everyone's like, well, let's do this, and I'm like, okay, I have no agenda. That sounds good. So, and that's what this year's will be. It's a collection of, like, everyone said, well, let's do this, or I really like this. So it's kind of like the village built this event. I mean, some village idiots too, but I'm one of them. But I feel like this is the event that we all built, so it should be the one, something that everybody likes,
Right.
or parts of it, And then everyone, see, I have to address this. Everyone always has this thing about, well, what kind of music are you going to have? And I always say, one thing I will absolutely guarantee you is you're going to hate the music at some point. You're going to love the music at some point. And I'll tell you, when you're loving it, the person next to you will hate it. And if you're coming just for the music, then go to a club near you that you like the music. If you're coming for people, then come for the people. Enjoy the music. Dance to the songs that you love. but you're just not always going to love the music, but the person next to you will love the ones that you don't, and vice versa.
Because you got to play everything.
Yeah. Because when you try and mix it up, I mean, if I had it my way, I love country music.
Woohoo!
And people are like,
we'll do a honky tonk night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would love to do that. I think I'd be lynched. But
I'll protect you, Brie.
Yeah. But so if I had it my way, but that's something I always like to tell people is, there'll be times you love it, times you hate it.
It's very true.
And and if you're, I'll hear people that go, "Well, I'm never going back because the music sucked." I'm like, you know what? Then you're missing out.
You're missing the point.
Yeah, if that's why you're coming for the music, then
you like Latin music, go to the Latin club. You like, hip hop, go to the hip hop club.
And what's the real reason you're not coming back? Because it wasn't the music.
Really,
you didn't ask me for my phone number.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
God.
that's probably
You
what
mean
it was.
some of those girls that think they're coming to find their husbands?
Yes.
Yeah, and can you find a husband? Sure. Will you find your husband?
Probably not.
Probably not. You could, sure. A lot of people do. A lot of people go to BBW events and they find them. Will you? I mean, there's a lot of players there. And when I say players, I'm not just talking about men. I mean, there's a lot of women.
No,
players.
you're right.
Right. Isn't that right, Sweet Cheeks?
Yeah.
Blanche.
She's raising her hand.
Couple.
Blanche.
You know what? I call it my
Party of two.
I call it my diva week. Whatever I want and whoever I want.
However many times.
And that's whatever your agenda is. I mean, if you're going there and you want, to find spiritual happiness, I mean, we'll have some of that too. If you find your spiritual happiness going, oh God,
that's
but I mean, it's an adult event. Everyone does their thing. So.
I'm actually newer to the knowledge of what a bash is. I know the original bash went on for many, many years, and you planned many of those years. And so I'm so excited for the event that you're doing, because now this is now all of your idea with everybody else is coming in and stuff. And you've got so much experience at this that it can't be a bad bash. It can't be a bad event.
Well, I mean, I learned so much doing the events with Joanne and Darwin, and I thank them to the end of the earth. I mean, I got so much knowledge from doing that, just from doing an event that large. I mean, I've been doing events since 1991, and I mean, nothing on that scale. So,
well, when I first heard about it, it was about a guy who was trying to get into my pants online, and he goes, "Are you coming to the bash?" I'm like, "Well, what the hell is that? And why do you want me to come?" And he goes, "Well, it's in Vegas, and that's where you are." I'm like, "Well, I don't know anything about it, so just get away from me." And
I was thinking, if a guy wants to get in my pants, I'm like, no, there's not even hardly enough room for me.
And as the years progressed, and I learned a little bit more about what the bash was, and then was able finally to go to a few events where bash-oriented events. One of the things that I've learned that you will find at one of these events and at your event is the camaraderie of other people that share the same kind of things that you have to go through in your life. And it's not a pity party.
No.
I mean, there's not people sitting around going,
no.
I'm getting picked on, and
and I always say it's kind of, I use the analogy of like when you're trying to teach kids, you try and make it a game and you make it fun. And I always say we're going to get you. Because we'll have all these events, we'll do educational things, we'll do things for activism, we'll do things for education, and there's something for everybody there. But a lot of people, would I love them to go to all the workshops? Absolutely. Do they? No, they're at the pool, they're doing whatever. The bash is one big experience. It's not just the event. It's the room parties. It's everything else. I love when people have room parties. I think that that's part of the entire experience. But I think that, at some point though, and it happens to me every time I go to a BBW event, is it catches up to you. It gets you, somewhere something moved you, you see something, you hear something, and I am touched to the point where it brings me to tears at some point during the week. It happens to me every time. And sometimes I'll think, oh, I didn't get me, they didn't get me this time. And then I'm like, damn it, they did, and something will happen. I'm like, oh, they did, they got me, but it happens all the time. And, and I hope that everybody gets that, because it's not just through going to workshops that you gain self-acceptance or, somebody preaching something to you. It's the whole experience. It's
the environment.
That guy looked at me like he really liked what he saw. Whether he's my future husband or not, he liked what he saw. I think that's so cool. It's Conrad from Dimensions years ago. It was funny. He always said he was great into activism, and I always said that I'm into socialism. He's like, Brie, that's not what that is. And I'm like, I know, it's a play on words, Conrad, But I'm like, I'm a socialist, not an activist. But, so it will always get you. And, I hope that for everybody. And I really, I want them to get it. I want them to feel it. And I want them to find self-acceptance. If they find it at a party or a workshop or wherever they find it, I want them to feel it.
And if it's their first time ever going to an event, go in with an open mind.
Yeah.
And just soak it all up, because
right.
there is
try
so
not
many
to
different
judge.
angles.
Try and look around.
Yeah,
think,
exactly.
Just because
There's
really
so many
that will
different
hold you
kinds of
back is when you're
people.
judging.
Yeah.
Just let go.
Soak it in and go to everything. I mean, my
Right.
first 2 years, I went to everything. Didn't miss a meeting.
That's
Didn't
the
miss a
best
class.
way to do it. Is,
And then, later as you go to other events, and you learn what you like better than
Right.
others or whatever. But soak it all in if it's your first
Yeah.
one, and
That's
just
that's
love
what
it.
I did at my first one. I went
Yeah.
to everything.
Just
I
soak it in.
and that's the thing to do. I mean,
That
go
way you
to,
meet different people at the
Yep.
different groups, because there's different people that do that. There's people that don't go to the groups and just go to the pool all day. So
Yeah.
if you do it all, you get to at least meet a lot of different
Yeah,
people.
and on Wednesday night I have a kind of a mixer thing too that's going to get people kind of interacting with other people too. So that'll
Good
be
deal.
cool.
Well, I'm almost. I know that the BBW community, the ones that we know anyway, love what you do for the community itself and the events that you put on. And I just want to say that I'm grateful to have been able to attend a lot of the ones that you've arranged or orchestrated, because they're fabulous, and they get me as well. I can see
Yeah.
those moments as well, and I think
And
that's
you can
one
take
of the.
that with you,
Yeah.
it leaves with you. And sometimes when you're having a hard day, sometimes you have to find that.
Right.
And we have bad days, so
And you know
I
what?
hope
It's
that
such a
people
like
find it.
I've gone for a lot of years now, so it's people that you meet that I always say it's like a big family reunion when
Mhm.
I go every year, because these are people that now, thank God, we got Facebook and Twitter and all that, so you get to keep in contact and you know
Right.
what's going on the year. So it's just like a big family reunion when you get there, and you see a lot of the people that have had some struggles during the year or have had a hard time, but it's like everybody's a friend, and like you said earlier, lots of hugs.
Yeah,
Lots of
I think
hugs.
it's great too when this may be the only time that you see them all year long,
Mhm.
but it's funny because it's almost like they live down the street,
Yeah,
because
you
it's
never
like you didn't
missed
miss a
part.
beat.
Yeah.
They're
true.
there.
Very true.
All right, so the event again starts at the end of July.
Yes, July 29th is the first day. That's the bonus day. It actually starts the 30th and goes through the 4th of August. So mark your calendars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And give your website out. So
It's
people...
well-roundedbbw.com.
And you can find out all the information there. You also have a group on Facebook.
Yes.
An event page there as well.
Yes.
And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, they can just contact
Go
you.
to Facebook. Find me as Brie Brown.
Yeah, you should post a lot.
Yeah.
She posts a lot, so don't be afraid to ask your questions there.
Yeah. And I'm real easy to talk to. I mean, if you're a pervy guy, I may not answer you back, but
that was for you, Black Ring. One of your fans.
One of your
from
fans from your earlier days at Dimensions. He goes, "Hey, there's the beautiful Brie."
But if you have legitimate questions, ask away.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could get you back in here before the
Sure,
event
yeah,
to give
yeah.
us an update, or call in every
Absolutely.
once in a while to tell us what
More
the new stuff
scoops.
is.
Yeah,
Keep
no, I'll keep
more
the scoops coming.
Yeah, and so that any of y'all, if you've heard about Well-Rounded here on this Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, let Brie know so she knows that you heard about us here.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we've had a great show. Tamia, Brie.
It was a good show.
Lots of stuff to know.
That 3 hours went
And
by tonight.
The stalking stuff will come in handy.
That's the bash.
Maybe
Which, by the way, if anyone has security issues, be sure and tell us immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we know who's here next week?
Not yet.
Okay. This is Alexia.
Mama. Sweet cheeks.
And Sierra wishing you all a good night. And remember,
fuck often.